Very good morning to all the dignitaries who have joined this event from Pan India and my fellow colleagues. I, Kavleen Bharij, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, ST College, Ambala Kent, welcomes you all in one-day online national seminar on entrepreneurship in India, strategies for transformation and growth in collaboration with Directorate of Higher Education, Haryana. India is now becoming a hub for startups over the recent years due to high growth rates and other factors. Many entrepreneurs like to invest in information technology, finance, software, and other sectors to earn more money. The number is likely to increase in the future due to availability of high manpower and government policies. A recent study says that India is growing at faster levels in startup ecosystems, which contributes more to the country's economic growth. Most startups owners in India are youth who have to put their ideas into practice and grab the opportunities in the market. They also have strong intrinsic motivations, problem-solving skills, patience, and the desire to achieve goals in society. A renowned marketing guru, Peter Drucker, once said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." With these words, I would like to invite Dr. Sadhbir Singh, Head, Department of Commerce and Management, Ambala Kent, to extend a formal welcome to all the dignitaries of today's seminar and also present the theme.
Okay, thank you, Kavleen ma'am. I hope I am audible to all of you clearly.
Yes.
Am I audible, ma'am? Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Today's guest, chief guest, Dr. Ajay Suneja, the resource person, also the resource person of the session, our principal sir, Dr. Rajinder Singh, every teacher participant and students, I welcome all of you on this virtual platform on behalf of my college, my principal, my management. Welcome you all. एक और छोटी सी responsibility जो मुझे यहाँ पे मिली है, it is basically associated with the reading of theme of the seminar. As we know very well that entrepreneurship development can be a good source of innovation and value creation for economies, organizations, and people. So unleashing of entrepreneurial laxity is must for economic development of a country. It helps in creation of employment opportunities, personal development. Entrepreneurship is not only related to establishing a new business, but also under entrepreneurship, different meaningful problems can be identified and their novel solutions may be devised. The biggest benefit of entrepreneurship development is to improve the skills and knowledge of entrepreneurs and enhances their ability to develop, manage, and organize business by considering the potential risks involved like business failure, unexpected obstacles, financial insecurity, and long working hours. Keeping the drawbacks aside, entrepreneurship contributes in economic development by creating capital for the country, by generating employment opportunities, by balanced regional development, regional growth may be there, by mobilization of resources, and by improving the standard of living of the society, etc. Indian government has taken different initiatives to motivate the new business ideas of Indian entrepreneurs such as Startup India, Stand Up India, etc. It is important to understand that entrepreneurial ventures can be successful only when citizen joins hand with the government. Today, this seminar has been organized with an aim to offer a platform for discussion on effective policies and government schemes that would help to empower and support entrepreneurship and skill development in India. Also, it is aimed to provide a platform for academicians, professionals, and research scholars to discuss and exchange their ideas on entrepreneurship development in India We hope that today we will be able to discuss the future paradigm of entrepreneurship India and readiness of the society regarding the same by exchanging fruitful ideas regarding new business ideas and management of existing businesses. Again, on behalf of my college and my department, I would like to welcome Professor Ajay Suneja sir, who is the chief guest of the session and chief guest of the entire seminar and the session chairperson of resource person of this particular session. I welcome everyone to the national seminar being organized by our department of the college. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hand
Thank you, sir.
over to you, Kavlin ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging words. It is a matter of honor for me to introduce and welcome such a great personality, Dr. Ajay Suneja, Professor, Department of Commerce, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, our resource person for the inaugural and first technical session. He has 28 years of experience of teaching postgraduate classes. His area of specialization includes service marketing, retailing, and human resource management. He has guided 9 PhD and more than 40 MPhil students. He has published several research papers in national and international journals of repute. He has attended more than 70 national and international seminars and conferences. He has delivered several lectures at refresher and orientation courses organized by the academic staff colleges. He is member of PG Board of Studies in Commerce, Kurukshetra University, and member of Board of Studies and Research Advisory Committee in Commerce Management of different universities. He was earlier member of Academic Council and Court of Kurukshetra University. He was course coordinator of M-Pharma, run by Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. We are delighted to have such a distinguished academician amongst us today. Now I would request Ajay Suneja sir to share his insight on entrepreneurship with the participants of the seminar. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Kavleen. Thank you to all the faculty members and especially to Professor Jinder Singh ji for the initiative taken on a very relevant topic of entrepreneurship. Before I start my presentation, I feel that SG College itself is very enterprising in coming up with new ideas in every department. And as I am associated with the Department of Commerce, so I know more that this department is organizing various activities even during the pandemic time. And so I can say that this college is having very enterprising faculty, very visionary leadership. And I congratulate you for organizing this seminar. Regarding my topic of presentation, today I'm going to speak on the topic of which is very relevant. It is on social entrepreneurship. So now I'm going to share my PPT along with it. Just a moment. I hope it is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, sir.
You see that when we are saying social entrepreneurship, this has become a very important area. And why I have taken up this topic, I can say that Mark Twain wrote, "It's the best of times, it's the worst of time." And he wrote in the context of any moment. We all are having this seminar wherever we are sitting, and we are getting various opportunities in our profession. It's the best of time. But on the contrary, the world has passed through historic pandemic, the worst ever period of the century, one of the worst in the history of mankind, and the misery is all around. By the time we were coming out of the pandemic, the war of Russia and Ukraine has increased the problems. The misery has aggravated, the poverty has aggravated, inflation has aggravated. Again, the supply constraints are there. So there is a lot of uncertainty. Again, we all are listening that the world is again having anxiety about the supply worries, and the inflation is at all-time high during the last 40 years, even in the developed countries like USA, UK. So it's the worst of time. Now, the role of social entrepreneurs increases when there is misery, right? They are people who are going to do something which can contribute to creating social value. These social entrepreneurs, basically when they come up, government is doing a lot of social work in every country, whether it is USA, for society, for downtrodden people, for below poverty line people. During the pandemic, also government in every country has done a lot. Government of India has done remarkably well. The mass immunization program in India is unparalleled. No country, even with smaller population, could match India's achievement. But still, what we are finding, private sector is also there. Now CSR contribution has been made compulsory. They are making 2% contribution, but still, all this is not proving sufficient. So this has been the story since beginning when the Indian economy was not so developed. Now it is in a very robust state. Technologically also, we are at the forefront of technology. So when there is a gap in resources, whether it is financial resources, whether it is manpower, technological, there the room is for social entrepreneurs who will come out with their innovative ideas, take up steps to implement them for the upliftment of mankind, for the amelioration of those who are in suffering. So social entrepreneurs are becoming very relevant, especially during this pandemic time. Even in the pre-pandemic time, they were very relevant. If you see that about the this just a moment. Uh, okay. Now, coming to the meaning of social enterprises, we all can see that different organizations have given us different kinds of the idea about the meaning. So these are the organization which marries the social mission of non-profit or government with the market-driven approach of business. So they are not here for charity. Charitable hospitals are there since the time immemorial. We have seen so many charitable, but they are self-sustaining organizations. They will do the social good, but they will also generate enough resources to sustain their social mission. Obviously, every organization has got its mission, which has got some social orientation. But in the case of social enterprises, the social mission is primary. Profit earning is not the primary motive. Rather, they are generating that much amount of profit which keeps them sustained, right? Which enable them to generate resources for their social cause. So these type of the initiatives are taken in every country, and the problem is that smaller countries, the countries with low income, they are having less resources. So there, the government has the responsibility of taking up this kind of the initiative. Now, why they want to become social entrepreneurs? If you see that they have got the passion for social work. You see that many social entrepreneurs, whether it is the Grameen Bank founder in Bangladesh, she has got the passion for social work, whether it is a founder of Arvind Eye Care, Dr. Venkateshwar, who did a remarkable work. He had the passion for social work. And to these people enjoy collaborations with various other agencies like Arvind Eye Care. They have got various collaborations with other agencies. That is why they are running the world's biggest eye care group of institution hospitals, and where they are performing 4.5 lakh surgeries every year, which is the highest in the world. And in a day, if you calculate, it comes out to around 1,300 surgeries per day, 1,300 surgeries in a one day across their different hospitals, which is the number itself is telling the story of the scale at which they are working. For that, they need collaboration for arranging doctors, for arranging research people, for setting up the various kinds of the inputs in the supply chain. So enjoyment for collaboration is the there. Then Jewel for innovation is a very important thing. They want to do something innovative. Innovative to ameliorate, to overcome the misery, the problems. These problems are not so simple. Otherwise, these would have been taken care of very easily. These problems are very vexed problems like healthcare issues, right? So these are in every part in every of the world, and every income group has got these problems. So they want to develop business model which is innovative. They want to have a solution which is very innovative, which is practical, which can help to solve the problem. So they have the zeal for innovation. Then they have a lot of care for people. Care for people is at their heart. So these are the reason for anyone to become social entrepreneurs. Remember, there are two terms. One is a social entrepreneur, other is the social enterprise. Social entrepreneur is in the context of individuals. Social enterprise is in the context of the organizational structure. And these people and these organizations, when they become together, they have all these characteristics, these reasons. And if we take the relevance of the this social entrepreneurship, then you will be able to understand that what kind of story is there. Arvind Eye Care was founded by an eye surgeon in Chennai when he was on the verge of retirement. And he noticed that the eye problems among the poor people is very high. So he wanted to do something for the poor people. And he started a small hospital with 4 doctors. He wanted to provide them solutions which are affordable. He also wanted to provide them free eye care. With the initiative which he took in 1960s, late 60s, gradually he roped in various other doctors. As I told you, networking is important. He convinced the various others. He arranged the seed capital, started the Arvind Eye Care Center, and remarkably, the innovation part, the assembly line approach has been adopted for eye surgeries, which is used in manufacturing sector. So they are performing surgeries daily at a large scale, mass scale, like mass scale production, where every specialist is doing one part of the activity. Someone is checking, someone is doing dressing, someone is doing surgery, someone else is doing the stitches part, and patient is moved from one to the next stage. And the quality is impeccable. Their eye care service quality is one of the highest in the world, and they are providing it free of cost to the poor people. And that has been recognized worldwide. So they have got the networking, they have got the zeal, they have got the care for people at heart, and their methodology of attaining large scale is very, very innovative, and economies of scale is unparalleled. Now coming to the major areas served by the social entrepreneurs, these are related to women issues, like women who are tribal women, those who are living in various backward areas, rural areas, their education, their empowerment, involving them. That is one thing. Health and sanitation is one major area. In underdeveloped countries, in developing countries like India, in Southeast Asia, health and sanitation is one major area. As I told you, Arvind, various others are there. Then establishing waste treatment plants. Now, millennium goals, sustainable development, when we are saying these social entrepreneurs are doing a lot in the area of sustainable development, whether it is the waste treatment plants, whether it is going green and planting trees. They have set up their organization, even as a single man army, various are operating. Then empowering rural people and green business initiatives. These green business initiatives again are related to the sustainable development. So welfare of the masses, welfare of the society or of the whole universe is at their heart. They are also opening schools in underserved areas, and see that these underserved areas may be located in the backward states or in the various rural areas. Azim Premji Foundation, like, or various others are doing these things. Then they are providing help to the poor people by providing them free of cost various things like education, healthcare services. They are facilitating agriculture, agripreneurs, we call them. One such agripreneur I can remember is our proud student Pune Singh Ting. Farm grocers is his organization. He has set up various farm producers organization FPOs. He has been given Haryana Ratan Award by the Honorable Chief Minister of Haryana, Shri Manoj Lal Khattar ji. He has been on the panel of FICCI, Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, on its agricultural panel. He did his Master of International Business from our department. His father was in agriculture and was associated with certain government agencies. And following on his father's footsteps, he started corporatized farming in certain African countries on very large scale, around 6,000 hectares. Then he came back to India after certain years. And then since then he has got involved into educating farmers, modernizing farmers through his innovative initiative, how to preserve. He knows farmers are not getting remunerative price because they lack the marketing capabilities. So he has come up with various innovative ways of preserving the perishable agricultural produce at a very low cost. And in the rural areas where the technology is not available, he has set up various farm producer organizations. He is now setting up various marketing strategies for these farm producer organization, and those are becoming successful. So such people are agripreneurs, and they are the social entrepreneurs who are facilitating the work of helping these people, and they in turn they are creating social value. You're getting a point. These people create value not only for the beneficiaries who are directly getting the benefit, but for the whole of the society. Now, coming to the typology of social entrepreneurs, what happens is that various researches have been carried out. That what are the various types of the entrepreneurs? As I told you, agripreneurs is one type, right? We can say that in the field of education, there are entrepreneurs. Some are interested in innovations in the healthcare sector, and taking the various kinds of the cues, various researches taken together, it has been found broadly that it's going to be a 2x2 matrices. As we can see that basically their social mission may be having two types of the beneficiaries. One, the beneficiaries are the sole recipient. Like say they do something where the poor people are given free of cost some kind of the medical treatment. Okay, they are setting up, or they are giving them benefit at a very low price. So the social mission is to provide benefits to the beneficiaries. They are the beneficiaries, are sole recipient. Target people below poverty line, maybe people who are in need, right, who are suffering from disease. Other are the beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are now involved to a higher level. They are made a part of this social venture, the social enterprise. Like there are certain social enterprises who are employing people who are physically challenged, who are incapable of walking properly, who are having lack of eyesight. Some organization employing only blind people or physically challenged people. So the social mission is now the beneficiaries are a part of the value creation process. You are giving employment to people who cannot earn their livelihood otherwise. You have given them training. You have made them capable. You are doing business with their help. You are sustaining your business, and in process you are doing the social cause of providing livelihood, providing employment to the downtrodden, underprivileged, or those who cannot get any job because they are having certain limitations. On the other side of the dimension, on our y-axis, we can see economic mission. Economic mission is having two type of the thing. Is that one is that there are some beneficiaries who are paying, right? There are some people who pay the money and other reap the benefit. Like say when we buy certain things, it is written that if you will buy one, the money out of this will be donated to poor people. 10% of the whatever you're paying will go to the poor people. So here you are integrating. Beneficiaries are, right? The beneficiaries and customers are linked. You pay some money, customer buy the product of these social ventures, and whatever money they are paying, a part of that revenue is going to the social cause directly. Okay, so there is a cross subsidization in the differentiated. Commercial revenues are cross subsidizing the social mission. Okay, then in the other case, beneficiaries are the paying customers. Customers who are paying, they are the beneficiaries, but they are paying at a very low price. Now the beneficiaries, they are charged very low price. So taken together, 4 types of the value creations come into existence, and these are not only the 4 types, they are reflecting broadly the strategic vision of these social entrepreneurs. Then we can see that who are supporting these social enterprises, because their main motive is not to earn profit. Their main motive is to create social value, sharing, caring for of the people. So sharing their financial resources, sharing their technologies, sharing their mental intelligence for society. Who are then the people who will be supporting these social enterprises? Chamber of Commerce and Industry Association, like Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Confederation of Indian Industry, and other industrial association, regional association. We have got in every Ambala, like there is association of tools manufacturer, there is a lab equipment. In other states, at Karnal, there is a certain tools equipments are made. Every industry has got its own association, right? Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers, ACMA, Auto Component Manufacturers. These all industry associations, they may support social enterprises in their pursuit. Like say nowadays, sustainable, go green. So eco-friendly vehicles are required. Certain social enterprises are working to reduce pollution. These industry associations who are in the automobile sector or auto component, they may join hands with such social enterprises because they have got the innovative ideas and they may come up with a solution which is beneficial to the society. Online platforms and media, we can see Amazon, Flipkart, and various other online platforms are there. Many of the people who are living in remote areas in north, in you can say in eastern part of the country, they are doing their business with the help of these online platforms. They are getting opportunities to sell their products which are very unique are sold through these online platforms. Or you can see that recycled products which are made from recycled waste are being sold on such platform. The innovative products are being sold on such platforms. Eco-friendly products are being sold on such platform. So it's a win-win situation. Incubators and accelerators. These incubators are nurturing. As the name is incubators, they have been set up in various top rating educational institutions. Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad has got one of the most successful incubators. Similarly, certain other universities and IITs also have got the incubator and accelerator. They will help these social entrepreneurs, social enterprises to finalize their business plan. They guide them how to raise the money. They guide them at different stages of implementation. They help them in developing their technologies. So they keep on guiding to become sustainable, to become successful. Then there are some impact investors. Again, these impact investors are also interested in social cause. They provide them seed money. They provide them money at the tier 1 level, tier 2 level. As the venture is growing, it's requiring more money. So these impact investors provide money. There are various multinational impact investors in different countries. Then there are multilateral donor agencies, including the agencies like IMF, ADB. They are also multilateral agencies who are providing for sustainable goal-related social or enterprises some amount of funding. Donor agencies. In India, donorship is quite common. So these donor agencies also donate money to them. Then corporates. Corporates knows that these people will come out with something useful. Like in Indian context, we are finding that Keshav Mahindra Group has always supported such cause. Ratan Tata, through Tata Group companies, they are providing help to these social organizations. So corporations in various parts of the world, they have set up their foundation. Infosys, Narayan Murthy's wife is providing various kinds of as a donor agencies money to various companies. Azim Premji of Wipro, he has set up a Azim Premji Foundation, which is providing a lot of donation to such enterprising social entrepreneurs. So then there is social innovation events and awards. Government of India has set up various awards, right? Startup awards, right? Stand Up India, Set Up India, under it, these schemes, various awards are there. Various state governments have set up their awards. Various publication houses have set up their awards for social innovation. Such events are organized at, and these are highlighted in media. These provide a lot of encouragement to such kind of the enterprising social young people. So these are the key supporters. Some of them are providing money, some of them are providing guidance like the incubators, some are providing them social support through media. So everyone, some are in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry. They also knows a broader picture like NASSCOM is, which is the apex body for software agency, that what are the requirements of the software agency, company, sorry, software industry, what next can be done by the software industry. And we need to understand that during the pandemic, it was the IT which bailed out everyone in like we all could manage our educational activities smoothly because of the IT. So industry associations, they involve themselves with such kind of the initiatives also. Now coming to a leading social enterprises in India, we can see that the names are there, name of the entrepreneur, their enterprise, the sector in which they are operating, that is before you. These are some of the names. The list may be very long. We can see that these companies, we might not have even heard about them, but they are success stories in themselves. Read about them and you will learn a lot. And I wish that we must discuss these stories with our respective students of undergraduate and postgraduate classes, because some of them may get idea of becoming social entrepreneurs, contributing to society, and the ignited mind may tomorrow become a success story. And I may be presenting one such story in some next seminar when someone who get motivated and take up it as a cause. Coming to our next slide, we have got the other stories of Goonj is a very famous NGO also doing these things. And we are finding that Child and Youth Finance International of J. Bilumoria, their sector is education and financial inclusion, the sector in which we are there. So we are finding that even in our education sector, there is a lot of scope. Government has done a lot. Even the right to education has been implemented. Still, the poor people, they may send their child to school, but as both the parents are illiterate, no one is there in the house to guide the child. When he or she comes back, child faces a lot of problems. So some social enterprise to support the children of such families where no one is there to help them in their learning can go a great way in an organized manner. So our teaching community may come up with some such social enterprises. That is my idea. So for rural area, if you see that the last name, Puneet Singh Thin, farm grocer, I told you he's from Ambala. So even sometime we invited him and he addressed a gathering in the university. He told his story. And the one important thing which I want to say is that their zeal for social cause. When he was in South, he was in Africa doing his farming. He told that their bonded labor of illegal migrants, this problem is also there. And he learned that some people who have illegally migrated to that country, they were held hostage and they were like prisoners, and they were compelled to work under pressure, and they could not approach the police because out of fear. When he learned, and that kind of the mafia also prevails in such other countries, he took the courage. He, with the support of the police authorities at the very high level and not at the lower level, managed to free those people from the shackles of those nefarious elements. So this speaks a volume about the courage of the social entrepreneurs, that wherever they see some injustice, someone's being suppressed, someone in need of help, they will like to solve their problems. So I have told you his story that he is running farm grocers. Rest you can see on the net. You can see it on the Facebook about him. Perhaps being my student, I devoted some time to describe his story. Perhaps he's from Ambala. Maybe that may be the reason. And he can be role model for many of the young people who are participating to become a social entrepreneur. Others now young below the age of 30. These are the top young social entrepreneurs in India who have been recognized even by the magazines like Forbes. Throughout the world, they have selected 30 people. Forbes 30 under 30 list. Again, Dexterity Global. They are working for children from remotest areas with best opportunities. You can see the Karthik Nalasetti is read out informatics. They are doing something very unique for the blood donor. This is again a very unique kind of a story like Arvind Eye Care, where they are helping the people to get blood donors because there is a shortage of blood during this pandemic. Blood donation was an issue because the everywhere there was shortage of blood, like the oxygen. So Red Code Informatics ensures that they arrange the blood donors, and they have used the Facebook as a medium to develop a community of blood donors at the various places. Their model is very good. So that is a very unique kind of a solution which they have found. So their stories and limited. Khoon is also doing same thing, providing blood to the needful. And you can see that one person's idea when it comes to media, others can pick up the clue and start their story, start their venture from there on. For empowerment of women, She for Change is the organization set up by Olivia Deka. So we all are finding that some unique thing about the media. Piyush Ghosh, the optimist citizen, his venture is paying attention only to positive and inspiring stories. I would request the people who are interested in this area to go and download the app of Your Story if they want to become entrepreneur. This website is very useful. This app is very useful. Now, social entrepreneurs, when they are doing all these, as I told you, through certain instances, certain cases, they are doing something where problems are also there. More problems than the normal ventures. First problem is raising funds in the times of prudence. Why somebody will give them money when they know their business motive is not to earn money? They want to contribute to society. They want to, everyone don't agree with them. So raising funds is a challenge. Okay. And government has now come up with various schemes to help these people. Perhaps the current government has done a lot, something which has never been done in the history of India to promote such entrepreneurs. Then building and following a business plan, as I told you, incubators in IIMs, IITs, and other institutions, they are helping them to develop business plans, because developing unique business plans with low money, with low revenues challenges, with little goal for profitability, their business plan needs to be unique and sustainable. Investing in the right people. They need manpower. They cannot afford to pay very high salary. So they need right type of the people also, who also have the willingness to work for the needy ones, whether they are the doctors, whether they are the teaching people, those who have the passion to teach people, children from the poorest section of the society. Okay. So these people, they are investing in the right type of people. Finding right people is also a challenge for them. Then process management and planning for growth is again something which is very challenging kind of thing. As I told you, Arvind hospitals, they have come up with a unique kind of the process management, where in the service sector they are using the assembly line approach. So their process management is quite different. Their planning for growth is different. Then balancing the business vision with business. Their vision is social value creation, but they have to generate revenue. So they have to maintain a fine balance with their revenue generation and contributing that, using that revenue for social cause, channelizing their revenues. So inflows and outflows, they have to maintain a balance, which is not something very easy because expectation increases from them. And then government regulations, earlier those were quite not so, you can say, pro such social entrepreneurs. But now government has done a lot, including the skilling of the people for the social entrepreneurs, rewards for the social entrepreneurs. Even we have seen in the government has rewarded those people in the Padma Shri awards, those who have contributed a lot to the society, to social cause, common man working. Then in longer time period involved, these people don't have the 9 to 5 business hours or office hours. They have the passion. If they're working, they don't see the clock. So longer time periods involved. They have to travel also to the interiors where they don't get good facilities. So longer time periods involved in working, longer time periods involved in settling down their project. Their project, as I told you, has less profitability and more emphasis on social thing. Their project viability is at stake. So these projects take longer time period to involve. So risk element is also higher. That is why people don't want to fund these projects also. Okay, government grants are also limited. Those used to be limited. Now the government has given certain grants. Then there is limited market. The product which they are manufacturing, people are not so much sometime interested in their product. Like say buying products which are made from recycled plastic, buying some kinds of the toys which are soft toys which are prepared from rags, from the waste cloths. You will be surprised to learn that we all are having two types of the, these are also the barriers. Again, researchers have found the same kind of barriers to growth and sustainability. This research was carried out in the year around 2017. So these are, through the research, they found that what are major barriers which these entrepreneurs and these enterprises face. Their debt equity ratio, you can see 57% are saying that this is a major issue. So grant funding is again a major issue. Maintaining cash flow is very important. Without cash, the business cannot work even in the short run, and maintaining cash flow is their major issue. Understanding awareness of social enterprise among bank and support organization. Convincing banks is a problem. Managerial people, they want to go to big names, big fame. Why they will come after getting very good qualification? That is problem. So recruitment is a problem. Shortage of technical skills is there among the people. So all these things, and taxation issues, red tapeism. If they get some grant, some promised for money, it takes long time to come to them, right? So these are the major issues. Now, as the time is limited, coming to the next current scenario, this again the same study has found that what kind of the things is there. 57% of such social enterprises are 5 year old or less than 5 years old in Indian context. As on date, these may have become 7 or 8 years old. So social enterprises, they are generating on an average 19 employees. So one social enterprise is giving job to 19 people. You can say out of, and on an average, they are having 17 full-time employees and 4 part-time employees. Coming to their contribution in providing employment to the female and leadership to the female, we are finding that 24% of the social enterprise are led by women, which is higher than the 8.9% female-led firms in the mainstream businesses. So even in the for-profit organization, 9% females are the leaders, while in these social enterprises, 24% are the female leaders. So it is also breaking the class ceiling for females. So they are serving various social purposes in one go. And then use of the, how they use their earnings. They are reinvesting it for growth and development activities. 78% have said they are rewarding their staff. 40% are saying they are cross-subsidizing the revenue from their profitable activities to the social purpose. 32% cases they are transferring money to funds, and this is how they are using their surplus and profits. Then objectives we have discussed earlier, but this is what the survey is saying about the objectives of these social enterprises. They are creating employment, as I told you, 17 regular and 4 part-time employees. 19 is the average employment opportunity. They are improving the health and well-being. That is again the one major area, healthcare, where these social enterprises are working. Blood donation, all these things. As I told you, so 41% are saying they are working for this objective. Social exclusion, there are certain castes, certain categories who are socially excluded. They are, like say, tribal areas, they are working for them. Protecting environment, they are contributing to the environment through sustainability goals. Supporting agriculture, agripreneurs, as I told you about the Puneet Singh thing. Empowering and uplifting women, 1/3, 33%. So this is again very important thing. They want to work for the poor women. They want to work for the women in the backward areas. So empowerment of the women, uplifting of the women. When they are uplifted, the society will get many other anomalies removed. Promoting education and literacies, as I told you, we all are in that education sector. We all can become social entrepreneurs in our own field of education, in our own chosen way, with the help of technology. It can be done when we all join hands, make our own network. Addressing financial exclusion, again, this is something which has been done by the Grameen Bank, where the self-help groups have been formed, right, for which the Bangladesh Grameen Bank founder was given the Nobel Prize also. They are supporting other social enterprises. That is very good. One social enterprise will become big, successful. It will help the other social enterprise to come up. So to create a complete network of social enterprise. They are supporting vulnerable children. The child trafficking is something which needs to be eradicated. Kailash Satyarthi ji has been given Nobel Prize for his cause of saving the children. He has saved more than 50,000 children. Listen to his speech, listen to his interviews on YouTube. Very dedicated Indian, proud, and we all should be proud to him for working in this area of supporting vulnerable children and young persons, providing affordable housing. This is one of the major thrust areas of the present government, also providing affordable housing. So these are some of the objectives of social enterprise which a particular survey has brought out. Now, legal status of social enterprises in India, we all can see that mainly these are in the form of private limited company, because raising funds is a problem, and they are either NGOs form, sole proprietor, partnership, public limited companies only 4%, limited liability companies 1%. So a lot needs to be done so that these can attain the scale where they can really help a large number of people. They can increase their reach, coverage. So that is one thing which is reflected over here. Again, social enterprises working in different sectors, as we have already discussed in a previous slide. This is showing the skill development. Skill development is very important because this will make the people innovating. Innovation. People have the idea, but how to implement it? For that, skill development can be useful. So innovation will be encouraged. Education 30%, agriculture fisheries 28%, financial services like self-help groups, providing low-cost funding, providing money to the very poor BPL below poverty line people for some sustainable activities, energy and clean technology, solar energy, right? Of clean energy, you can say the making batteries for these electric vehicles, all these areas where clean energy, clean technologies were 26%, healthcare 22%. So all these areas, food and nutrition, this has become very important today. Today means in the current scenario, we're finding that because of the war of Russia and Ukraine, the food crises are there in various countries, which is a basic requirement. And we all are finding that the Sadhguru Jagi is saying that we all should join a drive to save soil. By the year 2040, the food grain production will come down drastically. He's moving around the globe, sensitizing the people about saving soil. So food and nutrition is one area where social enterprises still need to work more because the mankind will be at stake. Famines will be there. Hunger will be there, which can lead to various kinds of the unpredicted problems. Water already is at stake. We now drink RO water. There used to be a time when hand pumps and taps were freely used by anybody at any place. But gone seems to be the era. The bigger the city, the bigger is the problem of water and sanitation. Dead cities. South Africa is the one. Chennai is facing a major problem of water and sanitation. So problem of water is very, very crucial. It is something more crucial than the fight for oil, Brent crude. Without water, we cannot live. Forest, environment, affordable housing, tourism, etc., justice, rehabilitation, human rights. People are not getting justice. They are downtrodden. So all these are the sectors where these social enterprises are working to work for the human rights also. Then growth plans. What are their growth plans? The survey found that most of them want to expand into new geographic areas. They want to attract new customers. Means they want to have the some kind of the expansion of their business, attract new customers or new client. So these are their strategic growth plan related aspects, which we can see that they want to develop and launch new products and services where they have the innovation. They want to also get more business from existing customer. They want to attract investments, which is required. They want to have some kind of franchising model also. So all these things are, they want to acquire some other small organization or work with some bigger organization, and these are their growth plans. Then sources of funding, these are before you. They are mainly dependent on which grants from foundations or donations. In India, the culture of donation is there since time immemorial. Tata Sons, since the time of the founder, Jamshedji Tata and his successors, they have maintained this trend. Tata Sons, we all know, their profit goes to charitable cause, and perhaps they are one of the biggest donors in the world. Now the government has made CSR provisions, so corporates will use this money to provide them funding. The government is also giving them 21% cases say that grant, and they have got the contracts from government for their social causes from where they get the revenue. So this is something showing how they will raise money, how they can survive, right? They are also getting commercial loan at the market rate of interest, 24%. And whether they can afford market rate of interest, this is something which is having a question mark. That is why they face problem in raising money. In 17% cases, they say we get concessional loans. Now coming to the constraints of funding, we already have discussed it. There's shortage of time, I believe. So as time was given to me was up to around 11. So coming to the next thing, that you all have seen this problems related to funding companies. Now, just a comparison of UK was given over there that in India 22% are working in healthcare, while in UK 19% of the social enterprise are in healthcare, and the average turnover of these social enterprise in India is 80,000 pounds, while 80,000 euros, and average turnover in UK is almost double, 151,000. Women leaders 24%, while in UK 40% women leaders are there in social enterprise. So more room exists for women leaders in India. Young leaders 27% in India under 35 years of age. It is better than the UK. So 88% of higher education institutions support social enterprise. This is very encouraging in Indian context. The role the higher education institutions are playing. While in India, while in UK, 80%. And you see that the Harvard Business School, it is running its MBA program in social enterprise. I'm coming to the next thing, which is more important, 10 success factors for social entrepreneur. They should have the business acumen, innovation, right? Elements, examples are there. How to define the problem, how to pinpoint the problem. That is the success factor. We all see the problem, but pinpointing the problem, defining problem is something which is unique. So like you can say the opportunity lies in the eyes of the beholder. This is something toward the problem definitions. They need to have the art of making partnership, collaborations, engagement, scale. They can, how they can scale up their business activities, some kind of the storytelling so as to attract their investors, employees, to bind them. They should have the storytelling spirits, support system, incubator, accelerator. They need, as I told you, incubator, accelerator, and other one to support them. So these are the success factors. Now, some of the Indian social enterprise, the list is there, which are having the successful social enterprise ecosystem. The list is before you. Now, coming to the main thing in which our young students might be interested, the institutions which are providing courses related to social enterprise in Indian context. The list is before you. You can, if some student asks you, you can tell them these are the institutions which are providing the courses on social enterprise. I have restricted this list to India. Otherwise, I've told you, online Harvard Business School website has got their programs, online programs available on social enterprise, social initiative. So you can see all the big name, Tata Institute of Social Science, IITs, IIMs, XLRI, Xavier Institute of Management Entrepreneurship. You all can see that even the Indira Gandhi Open University, which has got very largest reach in India, it is having courses on social enterprise. So all this is from my side, where I believe we all can come up with our own ideas. We have got the freedom in our classes and we can motivate our students. So this was all from my side. Thank you all. Thank you to the college for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this topic.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge about social entrepreneurship, the reasons for becoming one, major areas they serve, etc. with us. Your session was full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. Thank you so much. Now I would invite Dr. Mohit Bindlish, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, to present the formal vote of thanks.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a formal vote of thanks on this special occasion. I, Dr. Mohit Bindlish, on behalf of Sanatan Dharma College, Ambala, Kent, and entire sporting team, extends a very hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest and resource person, Dr. Ajay Suneja, Professor, Department of Commerce, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, who spare his valuable time from his busy schedule. Sir, the information shared by you on the very relevant topic of social entrepreneurship is valuable for all the attendees. Hopefully they had received it very well. With the examples, you have very well explained that the social entrepreneurs are working in the different areas like healthcare, financial services, agriculture, green business initiatives, food and nutrition, and many more. You have very creatively explained the different sides of social entrepreneurship, which one must have to know about. You have also explained that how the social entrepreneurs helps in the economic development of a country. by providing the employment to approximately 17 people by per social entrepreneur and also empowering the rural people. It was such an eye-opening session. We certainly look forward to hear from you in near future. I also want to thank all the personalities present here for attending and making this event successful in real sense. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind
Over
words.
to you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's take the seminar ahead to the first technical session with our resource person, Dr. Simi Vashisht, Assistant Professor, University School of Management, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. I would like to invite Ms. Ranjana, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to formally introduce our resource person with our participants.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're clearly audible.
Thank you, Kavleen, ma'am. I extend my regards to all the dignitaries, my fellow colleagues, and all the participants present in the seminar. I, Ranjana, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Sanatan Dharam College, Ambala, Kent, is profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce Dr. Simi Vashisht, who is working as Assistant Professor in the University School of Management, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Besides being a doctorate in entrepreneurship, she has also completed a general course on intellectual property rights from WIPO. Dr. Vashisht has 15 years of teaching experience and 13 years of experience in research. Her primary research interest lies in entrepreneurship development, women entrepreneurship ecosystem, grassroots innovation, and many allied areas. Ma'am has presented more than 45 papers in national and international seminars, conferences. She has guided 4 research scholars and 3 are ongoing. In addition to her academic activities, Dr. Vashisht is into an administrative role of promoting entrepreneurship in campus by serving as coordinator in National Innovation Startup Policy and member in RUSA 2.0 Entrepreneurship Development Cell. Now, I would request ma'am to enlighten us with her words of true wisdom. Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Ranjana, for kind words. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're clearly
Yes,
audible.
ma'am. You are clearly audible.
So, shall I share my presentation on screen?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yes, please let me know, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So at the outset, I thank Dr. Rajendra Singh, Principal of SD College, Dr. Satbir Singh, Head Department of Commerce and Management, SD College, Dr. Mohit Bindlish, Organizing Secretary of this one-day national seminar, and members of Organizing Committee for giving me this opportunity and inviting me here to share my knowledge in this one-day national seminar on entrepreneurship and India, strategies for transformation and growth. So let us start with how entrepreneurship is viewed across globe and in India. So while discussing this, I would like to throw light on the few definitions which are acknowledged as the definitions of entrepreneurship. We can say it is a process, it is a very tough process, rather churning process by which individuals persuade opportunities without regard to resources they currently control. Initially in the presentation by most respected Professor Ajay Suneja ji, he has already told about the social entrepreneurship and very well explained about the toughness that is involved in entrepreneurship endeavors. and he also addressed to the funding problems. So fund is a major issue which come across the way of entrepreneurship. And that this definition is with regard to funding issue, that is the resources which are presently lying with the potential entrepreneur are not an issue. Rather, they pursue opportunities and they are able to create resources. They are able to generate resources for themselves, and therefore they are able to create their empires, which are further creating a ripple effect on the economy as a whole in terms of creating social impact and in terms of creating job opportunities, which is presently a major issue as far as India is concerned. Secondly, it is simply an art of turning a raw idea which can be converted into a profitable business venture. So it is altogether an art where we say that even management is also an art of doing work, how things get in place. And therefore, whenever a raw idea comes to somebody's mind, Narayan Murthy thought of the idea to create Infosys, and now the big empire is in front of us, which is offering more than 5 lakh jobs to Indians in IT industry. The third definition, which is complete in itself and doesn't leave any aspect of entrepreneurship, is that it encompasses innovation that gives rise to idea having potential economic value to the prospective customer, and therefore requires founding an economic organization to pool resources to give shape to an idea so that profit can be earned under the conditions of risk and uncertainty. It entails each and everything which is related to entrepreneurship, that is essence of entrepreneurship, which is innovation. In my further slides, I would be talking about innovation. The idea that we are going to choose for entrepreneurship must have potential economic value, which means it must be sellable in the market. It must be acceptable to the customer. We cannot sell anything in the market since the customers have veto power. That is the power of rejecting the product or service that we are offering in the market. And therefore, it requires founding an economic organization, which means a legal entity has to be set up either in the form of sole proprietorship, private limited company, public limited company, limited liability partnership, simple partnership firm under Partnership Act 1932, or another option recently, which is contemporary founding of an economic organization, is OPC, that is one person company, so that the resources can be pooled up formally and final shape to the idea, which was only in the thoughts of an individual, can be developed, a prototype can be done, and finally we can earn profit under the conditions of risk and uncertainty, since risk and uncertainty are inseparable part of any entrepreneurship endeavor. So this is the third viewpoint on entrepreneurship, which is complete in itself since it doesn't leave anything that should be discussed. And the most important definition, the smallest one, the beautiful one, is given by Harvard Business School. That is, for entrepreneurs are in the pursuit of opportunity. They are opportunity seekers, and they don't look at the resources they currently possess, because they have belief that even if there is any resource that needs to be created, they are able to create it, they are able to generate it. So this is one of the you can say the best definition that's given by Harvard Business School, that is, entrepreneurs are in the pursuit of opportunity without regard to resources currently controlled. Then let us come to the brief of the startup in numbers, how far we have come since 2016 when this initiative was taken, and up to December 2020, where are we now and how the road ahead begins. So as you can see on the screen, 41,317 startups are recognized presently by Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. 590 plus districts are there on board, at least with one recognized startup. 4.7 lakh job opportunities are created and reported by 39,000 plus startups. 44% of the recognized startups have at least one women director. Since the participation of women director, women workforce is very necessary, because as far as the startups are concerned, they are floated by very few women. And in 2013, we have seen under a clause where the one women director on board has been made compulsory for better governance of the organization. So it is very necessary, since this issue is also addressed in the previous presentation by Professor Suneja ji, when he was asking about the glass ceiling issues. So definitely women workforce participation has to be more in startups also. Further, rupees 4,509 crore of investments have been made in 384 startups through the fund of funds schemes, which is recent scheme floated by Government of India. 30 states and union territories have been, they have their own dedicated startup policy, where they are being a part of the local ecosystem of that state or that union territory. They are helping potential entrepreneurs in various ways to come forward, to have their own startup, thus contributing to the job creation part instead to be a job seeker. Carrying forward, 319 eligible startups have been granted exemption under 80C of the Income Tax Act. 53,226 orders have been received by startup on the portal. 37 plus regulatory reforms have been undertaken by states and union territories so as to facilitate startups in order to have the compliance procedure very simplified, because the compliance itself is so taxing sometimes that refrain people to be part of this entrepreneurial journey. 39 regulatory reforms enabled with the help of various ministries, and 2.8 lakh users enrolled in Startup India program. Now I come to the major component, the essence of entrepreneurship, that is innovation. Since we all know creativity and innovation are inseparable from entrepreneurship, so they are the core ingredients of entrepreneurship. Now I decided to discuss this topic since it is an important part of entrepreneurship. So innovation can be defined as a new idea, it can be a new method or a new device in the form of product or a technical device, technological device. When we say method, we say it is a process. When we say it is new idea, it has to be formalized. So there are two types of patents which are received in grant. One is product patent, one is process patent. Now I come to what innovation is. Definitely it is a process, because it is a sequence of steps that an individual or organization undertakes to conceptualize brand new products, processes, and ideas, or to approach existing products, processes, and ideas in new ways. So there has to be the component of novelty in innovation. Unless until there is no newness, there is no novelty, we cannot say that something is innovative. So innovation is must. These are the 4 P's of innovation. One is product innovation, process innovation, positioning innovation, and paradigm innovation. These are called as 4 P's of innovation. So I'll be explaining these one by one. As far as product innovation is concerned, it is related to the creation of new products, introduction of new products in the market. We have seen, as far as technological products are seen in FMCG sector, that is fast moving consumer goods sector, we see that market is flooded with new products, whether we talk about a new segment of organic products, whether we talk about eatables, we have new category, new segments of products where we say that we are having new product line which have too deep product depth as well. So product innovation is related to the creation of new and finest products, which are definitely better than the previous one. When we say process innovation, as I earlier discussed, process innovation is related to the process part, that is the way things are being done. I would like to give here example of pharma industry, where the drug manufacturing process comes under process innovation. ZBB, a lot of commerce faculty members would be there. So zero-based budgeting you might have come across, which is also a part of process innovation. Since in basic budgeting, we used to have previous year loopholes, which were also carried forward. But in case of zero-based budgeting, which is given by Jimmy Carter, what we say is it starts from scratch. We are not going to take up any previous negativities in the coming years or coming year or the present year. Therefore, it is we are preparing our budget afresh. That is, it starts from scratch or zero, and that's the name zero-based budgeting. So it is a process of budgeting. That's why it comes under process innovation. I hope a lot of us might be aware about JIT, which is a Japanese process innovation technique that is just in time, and it is one of the method of inventory management. Rather, I must say that it is a method where we are going to have control over inventory costs. Since we are not keeping anything in inventory, but we are making our system so robust, our production management system so robust, that as and when order comes to us, we are able to produce it and we are able to deliver it well in time without having anything advance in stock. So we are saving ourselves from pilferage cost, from obsolescence cost, from any other kind of fixed or variable costs. And that is the technique JIT, which is also a reform over the traditional stock, where we used to maintain stocks in the form of LIFO, FIFO. So that is a part of process innovation. Third P related to this is positioning innovation, which relates to the positioning of a new product or repositioning of existing product whose market has dropped down. So when we say positioning innovation, it might be about positioning a new product in the market, or it might be about repositioning, where we say we are taking a product or service and offering it in a new market or with a new slant. Like as we all are aware about Bata, a decade ago it went so down, but we have seen that in present times it has its stores pan India, so it is able to reposition it in Indian market, and that is, it has used positioning innovation. Another example would be Airbnb. I hope a lot of us might have heard about this Airbnb, which was originally positioned around conferences. That before moving into journal, holiday and traveler industry, they were only into conferences, formal conferences that they used to organize across globe. So position innovation creates a change in the context in which the product or services are introduced initially, or they are positioned in the marketplace, and thereby they are able to change the perception of the consumers, and hence it gives a competitive edge to the organization. So their product is also introduced in the new market, so they get more customer base, they are able to scale up, and they are able to get the benefits of economies of scale this way, and therefore they are able to create a blue ocean for themselves to survive and to create monopoly and edge in the market. Fourth type of innovation is paradigm innovation, which occurs when there is a significant change in thinking. Since this innovation is based on bringing a shift in thinking, that masses used to think, we change the way they think. So paradigms are the values, the assumptions, the beliefs that make up way people see things. So here's an example to quote, where Henry Ford in 1971 brought low-cost airlines by American company Southwest, which is one of the worth quoting instance of shift in thinking. So initially airlines was available for exclusively for rich people, but when he introduced economy class, this was something that people from other walks of who are not rich probably, or who are less rich, can also be part of this journey of airline. And therefore this was one of the shift in thinking, and now we are seeing that we have premium class, we have economy class, and in whichever class we want to travel, we can. So these are the 4 P's of innovation. Now comes the importance of entrepreneurship, that why we are saying that the theme is so relevant in the present times. So what kind of role does entrepreneurs play for nation? The very first critical role played by them is they are national assets. definitely they are national assets since they are working as job creators, and they are responsible for creating jobs in India, because the entrepreneur is going to create a ripple effect in the economy. So if somebody is even going to be self-employed, he is at least not going to be a job seeker. Here I would like to quote a famous book by Robert D. Kiyosaki, that is Cash Flow Quadrant, which says that either one can fall. There are 4 quadrants in which one can fall. One is employee quadrant, second is the quadrant self-employed, third quadrant is entrepreneur, and the fourth quadrant is investor. The investor quadrant is one of the strongest quadrants of all the 4. But even if somebody is going through self-employed quadrant, the person is, you can say, at least he is not a job seeker, because he is into a professional thing and he is managing himself on his own. Plus he can be a job creator in future as and when he or she expands his business. So they are, in these terms, they are national assets since they are contributing to the effort of government of creating job. Second, they are playing the role of catalytic agents. Yes, they are playing the role of catalytic agents. Catalyst is something that is mixed with, that when mixed with something creates a great effect in terms of outcomes. So when entrepreneurs are given due privilege in terms of giving the proper policy, the proper compliance, the proper framework, the proper environment in which they can work, definitely they can play a role of strong catalytic agent, and they can help the government to meet the goal of being a great economy, upcoming economy. Right now we are on the stage of emerging economy. So definitely if entrepreneurs are more in India, we can be one of the greatest economy of the world. Contributes to GDP, very important. Approximately MSME and entrepreneurship contributes 1/3 to the GDP, 29% as on date. Entrepreneurs are agents of social change. Yes, they bring social change in the society. Since last 2 decades, we are looking forward that a lot of people are not trying for job. They are aware now that who's an entrepreneur, and yes, this is also a career option for us, that we may not be a part of job, rather we can create job. So in initial years of their career, they can strengthen themselves by being an entrepreneur, and in the later years when they expand their endeavor, they can rope in few more, and hence they can be agents of social change. Wealth creation, definitely entrepreneurs are wealth creators, because when we are talking about the term wealth, it is a very deep term, because they are not only going to create money in the economy, and wealth is something which is holistic in nature, and they are definitely careers of wealth creation. That is the only reason that government is focusing so much on individuals and institutions to give away students this kind of mindset that they can be entrepreneurs and can be agents of social change, can become wealth creators, can contribute to GDP, can act as catalytic agents, and definitely then they would be national assets. Moving further, I would like to show you here that entrepreneurship and MSME, that is micro, small and medium enterprise sector, contributes nearly 1/3 to the India's GDP, 29%. As far as statistics says, number of MSME has been increased by compounded annual growth. As far as government initiative related to funding is concerned, loan disbursals to MSMEs in 2021 is 9.5 trillion, that is 128.06 US, 128.06 billion US dollars, which is a 40% increase, which is compared with 6.8 trillion in financial year 2020. Now I come to another pillar of entrepreneurship, that is ecosystem, entrepreneurship ecosystem. It is also buzzword nowadays. So when we say what entrepreneurship ecosystem is, uh, it is it is a term which has been discussed in the recent past, and it has received interest uh, since government, enterprises, universities, higher educational institutions have started to recognize the potential of integration, that is, the potential of integrated policies, structures, programs, and they now acknowledge that these integrated processes are such that foster regional entrepreneurship, and definitely they can support innovation, productivity, and employment growth. Therefore the theme is so important in terms of discussing this entrepreneurship ecosystem. So what are entrepreneurial ecosystems? It is a recent definition which is coined by Spiegel in 2017, that entrepreneurial ecosystems are the union of localized cultural outlooks, that how people see entrepreneurship as social networks, investment capital, role of universities, higher education institutions, where institutions and colleges also come into play, and active economic policies that create a supportive environment for innovation-based ventures. In this slide, you can see the pillars of entrepreneurial ecosystem, or you can say the players, elements that are supported, that constitute entrepreneurial ecosystem. This is a model which is given by Eisenberg, and it is a Eisenberg's model of entrepreneurship ecosystem. In 2011, it was given. So you can see the elements. One is policy, support, culture, markets, human capital, and finance. And if we talk about their integration, that whole integration makes entrepreneurial ecosystem lively. Now, with what kind of intensity these elements contribute to entrepreneurial ecosystem will define the entrepreneurial ecosystem strength. So very briefly, I would be explaining about these players of ecosystem. As far as policy is concerned, it talks about the government initiatives, state government initiatives, central government initiatives, which have been taken up recently by Government of India or state government in order to contribute to entrepreneurial ecosystem, whether the policy is related to ease of doing business, whether it is related to funding mechanism. Even I want to quote here Mudra Yojana, which entails that collateral free loan will be given to the people who want to start their own small entrepreneurial ventures, where they give loan from 50,000 to 10 lakh under this scheme. So various policy initiatives have been taken by Government of India, whether I say Saksham Yuva Yojana, Spurti, especially for SC/ST candidates. There are lot many schemes. So I request all the faculty members to ask their students to take benefit of these schemes, which are policy initiatives by Government of India. It is also pertinent to mention here that maximum of the fund goes back in the budget, since a lot of people either are not aware or they are not able to avail this, and maximum of the fund remains unutilized. So please make your students aware about these options which are offered by Government of India. As far as support mechanism is concerned, it entails all the things that are in the way of institutional support, whether universities are there or institutions are there, in terms of incubation, establishing incubation centers, in terms of establishing angel help, taking help from angel investors. As of now, Kurukshetra University is also having its Center for Entrepreneurship, which is established under RUSA 2.0. And I'm privileged to be part of that center, since I'm working as a member in that center. Moreover, Kurukshetra University has its technology incubation center also. So that is acting as a support system for students. So any student who comes with his idea, the technology incubation center supports his idea, helps him to develop a prototype. And if the startup idea is viable, it helps to float that startup in the premises of Kurukshetra University with the terms and conditions that have been laid down in the policy document of KUTIC. Along with that, it also gives funding to the student for that startup idea, which starts from 5 lakh to 25 lakhs. As of now, 3 ideas have been supported by technology incubation centers. Since it is at its very inception stage, almost, I think, approximately 2.5 to 3 years before it was established. The third aspect is culture, which relates to how people perceive entrepreneurs as. Do they perceive entrepreneurs as weak people or strong people? Sometimes in Indian culture, we perceive that job nahi mili hogi, isliye apna kaam kar raha hai. So that kind of mindset impacts the culture. But nowadays, entrepreneurs are really looked upon with great respect. You can see the founder of Ola, you can see the founder of Zomato. Even if these startups are now unicorns, and these people are looked upon as very respectable people since they are creating jobs. Then comes markets. Markets here refer to the supply chain. A lot of entrepreneurs are having issue that we are able to make a very good product, but where do we sell? How do we approach the market? That is one of the main issue that comes across. A lot of people who are able to prepare a product, but they are not able to market it. So government has support system also. I would like to quote here a gem, which is a recent initiative by Government of India, that is Government e-Marketplace, which is a marketplace offered to MSMEs that they can register there and they can sell their products. It has been made compulsory by government to procure all the procurements from this government e-marketplace if it is a government undertaking. I mean to say, it is compulsory for a government undertaking to procure 40% of this procurement from GEM portal only. Even in our university also, in Kurukshetra University also, a lot of procurement is being done through GEM portal, so that it acts as a support system to MSMEs. So this is one of the really appreciable initiative by government also. And government is also supporting through supply chain. As far as human capital is concerned, it talks about the people who are into this stream, who are into this line, probably in the form of incubators, in the form of venture capitalists, in the form of funding agencies, in the form of the people who are creating awareness. So that relates to human capital aspect. That human capital has to be strengthened, because that human capital is the single attribute that drives all the elements, and hence it is important since it bears on the quality of all other elements. As far as finance is related, there are many schemes under which finance is given. Further, government has come up with collateral free loans also. The only thing is that they need commitment, they need a well established business plan. So the project proposal that one is going to make and to present it to the bank or a funding institution is must. At a state level, we have a lot of funding institutions, state development corporations are there, a lot of government banks are there, a lot of private banks are there, for whom the priority sector lending is allocated, that this much funds are set aside for allocation to the startups only. So that is finance element. And with the integration of all these elements, a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem can be created. Recently, Bangalore state, Karnataka entrepreneurial ecosystem is worth mentioning here, since they are coming up with a lot of startups. And right now on number 1, it is Chennai. On number 2, it is Karnataka. However, India is coming up with the startup capital of world, since there are many startups coming up in India with a good status of with a good conversion rate of unicorns. So moving further, let's discuss about current trends in entrepreneurship. So the first aspect is launch of Startup India, increased digitization and spending on social media and digital marketing, multi-sector collaboration, localization, which is self-reliant India, a recent initiative, the rise of social enterprises, a very important theme, which has been very well elaborated in the previous presentation, role of micro-influencers, which help entrepreneurs to make their place in the market, to carve a niche for themselves in the market, growth of entrepreneurial communities. If somebody wants to be an entrepreneur and has no idea. So one can join entrepreneur community and thereby enrich himself or herself. So let's brief on one by one on all these. So one is launch of Startup India. Before this, I would like to define the meaning of startup. A startup means an entity which is incorporated or registered in India not prior to 5 years. It means it must be a fresh. It can be at the most 5 years, 4 years old. It must be working towards innovation, development, deployment, or commercialization of new products, processes, that is the way the things are being done, or services driven by technology or intellectual property. The entity which is not startup, it means when a startup will not be called as startup, rather it would be called as a unicorn or a decacorn or an hectacorn. So when it ceases to be startup, if it is formed by splitting up or reconstruction of a business which is already in existence, if its turnover for the previous financial years has exceeded Indian currency 25 crores, if it has completed 5 years from the date of incorporation, then it is no more a startup. The entity shall cease to be startup. Now I come to the first recent trend which is related to entrepreneurship, that is launch of Startup India. The startup ecosystem in India is changing and small and medium enterprises are privileged now as compared to a decade back. So various initiatives have been favorable to Indian startup ecosystem, like as launching of GEM, which is Government E-Marketplace portal. I have recently discussed about it. Technology upgradation, customer friendly approach, new taxation policy, relaxation in GST, ease of business registration, ease of business doing. The startups in India have become a significant player. Startups which are having significant potential are adopting at faster pace, and big investors handhold and fund small startups and entrepreneurs. Earlier, such investments in startups were considered fancy investments. It means they were considered risky. It was one of the contemporary aspects of funding. But now unicorn startups can step toward the mid-level business within 6 months if they have a robust business model, promising business model. I have been using this term unicorn, decacorn, and hectacorn. So what is a unicorn? Unicorn is a privately held startup company whose value is over $1 billion. At present, India is third in the list of countries having the most unicorns, trailing US with 396, China 277, and India, as of now, it is having 65 unicorns. It means the companies, the startups which fall in $1 billion club. RBI in its August 2021 bulletin said it is estimated that India has 100 unicorns. A decacorn is a company valued at over $10 billion. Bajaj, 197 Communications, OYO, these all now come under decacorns. A technological, financial, or fintech companies. Fintech companies basically, fintech is a baby of finance and technology. So fintech companies which are worth more than $100 billion is called hectacorn. Another name of hectacorn is super unicorn. If I say Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, which is now Meta, Oracle, and Cisco, all these are examples of hectacorns. The second trend is increasing digitization and spending on social media and digital marketing. So as of now, social media users in India are 78 million, which is 21% more between 2020 and 2021. Social media advertisement spending in India reached 863 million US dollars. If we have to pick one of the critical drivers for startup boom in India, the social media and digital marketing have essential role in this. Digitization has paved the way for new set of opportunities for entrepreneurs. As per Indian e-commerce industry report, the Indian e-commerce market is most likely to grow to US $200 billion by 2026. The most dominant trend in acceleration in digitization supported by increasing consumer acceptance and adoption of digital services and products. Since the consumer base related to digitization is increasing so much, so that is an edge for these startups since they are able to market and sell their product in this mode. The digital reset has propelled the use of contactless digital technology, and COVID has been an opportunity for this, paving the way for digital technology or financial transactions. It has opened up new markets and spurred a hiring spree among digitally enabled startups. It is supporting the growth of digitally enabled hyper-local business models such as Meesho, Pay Nearby, as well as the rise of vernacular language voice technology startups such as vernacular.ai, chatbots, and so on. Social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Insta provide real-time statistics of their users, and they'll show ads on their user profile who are interested in similar type of products and services that startups offer. So it is quite easy for these startups to reach potential customers through these platforms. The third recent trend is related to multi-sector collaboration. Basically, cross-fertilization of ideas is there, which gives this recent trend of multi-sector collaboration. The complexity of challenges which is posed by a pandemic has given the lot of initiatives related to multi-sector that have been government, startups, universities, and civil societies collaborating, like as outreach programs we can see. To quote here, government funded CCAMP COVID-19 Innovation Development Accelerator, CCDA, has supported startups in the area of diagnostics, respiratory devices, therapeutics, and cold chain technology. Such collaborations are also helping entrepreneurs engage with government regulatory processes around technology commercialization. A case in point being RNA extraction kit for COVID testing, which is developed by research institution Sri Chitra Trinool Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, whereas it was developed by an institute, whereas it was commercialized by Agape Diagnostics. So it is a social endeavor where multi-sector collaboration initiative has been taken and has been used for social cause during the pandemic times. This is international collaboration, where what the government is doing, international collaboration and startup participation. This is one of the key objective under Startup India program, so that that helps to connect Indian startup ecosystem to global startup ecosystem through various models of engagement. Startup India has launched bridges over 10 countries that provide a soft landing platform for startup from the partner nations that helps in promoting cross collaboration. The partnership and collaborations with other startup ecosystems have also proven to be overreaching propellants to Indian startup enthusiasm by fostering partnerships, knowledge exchanges, and fund support mechanism. So you can see in June 2017, India-Portugal collaboration is there. In July 2017, India-Israel collaboration is there. In September 2017, India-Japan collaboration is there. October 2017, India-Sweden collaboration is there. In 2018, January, India-Singapore Entrepreneurship Bridge is created. In May 2018, Indo-Dutch Startup Initiative was taken. In December 2018, India-Finland collaboration is taken. In February 2019, India-Korea collaboration take place. In September 2019, Indo-Russian Innovation Bridge took place. In September 29, UK-India collaboration was created. In October 2019, India-Netherlands Technology Summit collaboration took place. And in November 2019, joint declaration of India, declaration of intent of India with Germany took place. So these are the international collaboration, which are the initiative of startup participation since 2016 to 2020. The fourth recent trend relates to localization, that is self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have been listening this since long. The focus of India's government to support package for MSME sector during the pandemic times was Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant India, which provides incentives and policies to facilitate the localization of specific industries. And a funding boost was also given to these industries for their survival during the pandemic times. So it further gave impetus to the national policy on electronics, which envisions making India a $400 billion hub of electronic system design and manufacturing by 2025. Recent initiatives such as ESDM Incubation Center in Hubli and Super Fab Lab in Kochi support the localization of electronic supply chain through developing hardware startups. It is a recent initiative which is worth quoting in terms of self-reliant India. Global multinationals are also supporting this localization trend by setting up new manufacturing clusters and platforms for Indian small businesses. And such initiatives could help to create more reliable supply chains, boost local employment, and reduce the carbon footprints related to transporting goods and reduce India's electronic imports, which currently account for 13% of all of India's imports. So when reduction of carbon footprint is concerned, we come to green enterprises, we come to green economy, we come to green fuel. So that is also a new upcoming area where we talk about green enterprising, which works on triple bottom line. PM vision to make Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant. So discussed upon the 5 pillars: economy, infra, technology-driven system, vibrant demography, and demand to make India self-reliant. The government boost to MSMEs is through emphasis on using local products to boost the businesses of local manufacturers and retailers. Following that, the central government has announced mega stimulus package worth 20 lakh crore, which is equivalent to 10% of India's GDP, to tackle the economic fallout of COVID-19 and help Indian MSMEs to get back on their feet. This was really an appreciable effort on the part of government. The rise of social enterprises. Yes, social enterprising is on its peak since we are talking about green economy, since we are talking about green enterprises. So Indian entrepreneurs exhibit high societal commitment during the pandemic by volunteering their time, which is the most crucial of every asset, which is the most crucial of any of our assets. That is 52%, and business services 65% for social causes. Efforts were also made to generate funding for COVID-related projects. Support structure for businesses have newly emerged. They have gained greater prominence during the pandemic. Example, the makerspace movement saw Makers Asylum developing healthcare products like as oxygen concentrators and air purification respirators. During second wave, we were not self-sufficient in this, and we were importing from other countries. So this was an initiative which was taken by a local entrepreneur. Micro-influencers, the role of micro-influencers is significantly going up. So influencers are the people who have good number of followers on their social media profiles. It can be a celebrity, music star, a tutor, a famous personality. According to various surveys, consumers trust word of mouth recommendation, and this word of mouth marketing has a crucial role to play in the form of micro-influencing. So they have important place of word of mouth recommendation from friends and family, which is how micro-influencers work. So micro-influencers are ordinary people who can create specific content about the topic or theme. They have small number of followers, a high engagement rate, and can interact with followers. Since it creates cascading effect, because if they are going to influence their group, any member of the group can further influence other members also. So it definitely creates a kind of chain reaction, or I can say the cascading effect. A micro-influencer can help to establish brand through a word of mouth marketing campaign. Growth of entrepreneur communities is an important point to discuss, since entrepreneur communities are forums where like-minded people from the same industry or different industry interact with each other. It provides platform for knowledge sharing, for getting valuable inputs, tips, staying updated about the latest trends in the market, solving business issues, learning from mistakes, learning new skills, getting more business, getting good ideas, and business networking. It is a wonderful platform. So if somebody is willing to go for this, they can use entrepreneur communities platform. These are few names of entrepreneur communities. That is onlinegeniuses.com, Bright Ideas and Entrepreneur, Lean Lugs, Pro Blogger, Executive Suit, National Entrepreneurship Network, eChai, India Entrepreneurs Club, Open Coffee Club India, Push Start. These are the names of various entrepreneur communities that we can see in India. So this is all from my side. I hope I'm able to justify the theme of the seminar. So if there are any discussions, anything, most welcome.
Thank you so much. This was really an amazing address, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Now I would request Ms. Anita Fulia, Assistant Professor, to present a vote of thanks to our resource person.
Am I audible? Yes, I'm audible
Yes, ma'am.
to all of you.
Yes.
Okay. A warm and graceful afternoon to all of you. On behalf of Sanatan College, I, Anita Bindal, extend a hearty vote of thanks to our resource person of first technical session, Dr. Msme Vasist, Assistant Professor, University School of Management, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, who spared time from busy schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we have an opportunity to hear your thought, and this will surely encourage us in all our future endeavor. Ma'am, your thoughts have enlightened our mind and have shown us a new path. You truly made this day lighting for us. Your deep and intellectual way of imparting knowledge has added to the glory of this event. Today, we have got a lot of information which will truly help in us our life. We have no words to offer gratitude for your valuable presence here. You gave deep insight into the topic entrepreneurship, startup India, innovation, 4Ps, entrepreneurship, ecosystem players, and various revealed some interesting facts like Mudra Yojana and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So with a deep sense of appreciation, I would like to thank Dr. Msme ma'am for being with us today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Over to Kavleen, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's have a tea break to refresh for the next technical session. We'll get back at 12:10 p.m. again to sail our boat of knowledge further. Thank you so much.
How are you?
I regret my VPT is not working, so I'll speak extempore.
No
If you don't
problem,
mind.
madam. No, no problem, madam. No problem. There will be no problem.
So I'll speak
Thanks for joining.
extempore. Thanks, and I really regret for.
No,
I
it's
should
okay,
have
ma'am.
actually-
It's okay, ma'am. It's okay. It's okay. Shall we, ma'am? We can start now.
Sure,
yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
ma'am. So a very good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Ritu ma'am. So on behalf of Department of Commerce, Sanatan College, Ambala Can, I, Chavi Kiran, would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, to honorable dignitaries, faculty members, all the participants to this technical session number 2 on the one-day national seminar on entrepreneurship and India, strategies for transformation and growth. This is being organized by Department of Commerce of Sanatan College in collaboration with Directorate of Higher Education, Haryana. We do realize that entrepreneurship is a buzzword in the current era, and young minds are like sponges and they are looking for the right input to soak in it. The Department of Commerce of the college has been actively engaged in providing a platform to the students for developing and exhibiting their skills. Every student has some kind of potential to grow as an entrepreneur or as a successful individual, but they just need right guidance for their particular business so that they can harness their potential. And our college makes best efforts to nurture a passion for self-employment and provide skills training to students of the college. It is a matter of honor for us to invite Dr. Ritu Bajaj, Chairperson from Department of Management, Indira Gandhi University, Mirpur. It is an honor for me to introduce and welcome ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
May I please take the opportunity to introduce you to our audience. So, Dr. Ritu Bajaj is a master's in business administration and doctorate of philosophy from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Her area of specialization is marketing and retail. She has an experience of more than 16 years in the area of academics and administration in the institutes of higher education of repute. Ma'am has also published more than a dozen of research papers in national and international journals of repute and has presented various papers in national and international seminars. She has delivered more than 60 talks at prestigious education institutions and has authored few books as in different domains. She has supervised thesis of several students for the award of Doctorate of Philosophy. Ma'am has also designed and conducted several training programs on communication, service marketing, and retail for middle and lower level executives of both public and private sectors. She is also a member of various statutory bodies like the court, executive council, academic council, and board of studies of different universities. Ma'am has also worked as a registrar of the first skilled university in India, that is Sri Vishwakarma Skill University, Haryana, from 16th August 2018 to 4th of June 2020, where she has pioneered the movement to reshape skill education with its industry-integrated dual education programs. Skilling youth is actually not just a mission, but a paradigm shift in the aspirations and social status. Ma'am has also served twice as the registrar of Bhagat Phool Singh Mahila Vishwavidyalaya, Kanpur Kala, Haryana, which is the first rural women state-funded university of North India. It is actually an honor for us to invite such a learned academician in this seminar. And now I would request ma'am to kindly share her words of wisdom with our participants.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, this introduction was not required. First of all, I'm 20 minutes late. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Is my
ma'am.
voice audible? Is it
Yes,
clear? Okay, I'm 20 minutes late to the webinar, though I was attached since 10 o'clock in the morning. And this is how I think administration works. We have to manage and have solutions for all the problems we have. So I think we had enough PPTs in the morning, and my guru, Professor Ajay Suneja, my colleague Simi was there. Though we have not worked together, but we have read together in the library. We used to sit together and have a study. And she was my junior, but she was a great lady who has worked a lot on entrepreneurship. And Professor Suneja, they both have talked a great. I think I'll talk about that later. First of all, I would like to thank Sanatana Dharma College, Ambala, and its management, the principal, Dr. Rajendra ji, and Sadbir Singh ji, the convener, and Renu ji, and above all, Dr. Mohit, who talked to me because I never knew anybody else. So Dr. Mohit, thanks a lot. And I hope in this 22 to 30 minutes, I'm able to keep your expectations without the PPT. I hope I'll be able to manage. Well, Dr. Suneja, Professor Suneja spoke so well about the social entrepreneurship angle. And thank God my presentation was not the first one. And without PPT, it would have been so tough. So they have already spent a lot and spoken a lot on entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? What is social entrepreneurship? He had collected a good data. He had well rehearsed and well worked work was shown by him. And even Dr. Simi, she spoke upon her area of PhD is entrepreneurship itself. So she has created a good base. So it is a pleasure for me to speak after them, rather an advantage for me to speak after them. I need not to give any theoretical base for entrepreneurship. You already are well equipped, and being teachers, you are already updating yourself on it. It is just an add-on to whatever thoughts you already have in your mind. So when I say entrepreneurship, you all know entrepreneurship starts with risk taking, and Simi has already talked about a lot of innovation aspect of it, process innovation, positioning innovation, different types of innovation. She talked about startups also. She very well touched upon startups and entrepreneurship ecosystem. She has completely detailed upon it. So I think it's time for me to take some few examples of women entrepreneurs. So I'll touch upon few examples. And before I take up examples, I would like to say that women entrepreneurship is just 14% of our complete ecosystem. And in that 14%, we women are trying to showcase ourselves to the best as possible. And the government is supporting us so well in that. And in that 14% of our presence as an women of ecosystem or entrepreneurship ecosystem, 20.37% of women are from MSME owners, with account for 23.3% of labor force. So this 20.3% women from MSME, they are into small businesses like agarbatti banana, ghar mein kaam karna, छोटे-छोटे कामों से ही अपना business, अपना घर चलाना. And we as women, actually, हम चार दीवारी में रह के परेशान हो गए थे. बहुत हो गई चार दीवारी. क्यों ना उस चार दीवारी से ही अपने आप को निखारा जाए, अपने आप को आगे बढ़ाया जाए. और वो कुछ entrepreneurs ने तो उस business उसी तरह से business start किया. So I would like to take my first example of a woman entrepreneur that started the cooperative movement. The great lady, this lady is, I hope if anybody can guess, this great lady who started because we women believed in 3 Ks: kitchen, kids, and anybody else who can add. Ab to main question पूछूंगी. Kitchen, kids, what are the 3? We women believed in 3 Ks. शुरू से हमें दिखाया गया हमारे बच्चे, हमारा परिवार, हमारी किचन, और हमारा तीसरा के कौन सा हो सकता है? Any guesses? तीसरा की कौन सा हो सकता है सर? निटिंग। जब खाली समय मिलता था ना, हम बाहर बैठ के धूप में आराम से सुई धागे से या तो स्टिचिंग सिलाई करना, निटिंग करना. निटिंग वाज अनदर के which was everybody's, मतलब एसेंशियल भी था बिकॉज हम बाहर पैसा नहीं देना चाहते थे, मेरे रिसोर्सेज थे हमारे पास. तो थर्ड के वाज निटिंग. बैठे बैठे धूप में स्वेटर बुनते रहना, और पूरे खानदान के पास माँ के हाथ के बनाए हुए स्वेटर्स होते थे और हम खूब पहनते थे, खूब गर्म होते थे. आजकल तो वो वी आर वेटिंग कब वो हमें दोबारा से मौका मिलेगा पहनने का. We are moved into an online ready-made garment industry or ready-made garment industry. So from this 3K, we have taken this, and these 3Ks actually have come as a profession for new women in India. And these 3Ks have moved to 3Es from this industry, from knitting. Knitting again, women are there. I'll be talking about few examples. From kitchen, keeping the kitchen as a base in mind. From kitchen, a biggest example that came up in the cooperative movement was Lijjat Papad. Lijjat Papad was started by, कोई नाम बता सकता है सर? Lijjat Papad was started by Jaswanti Ben Jamandas Popat. She was a lady. वो एक घर बैठते थे, 3-4 घंटे का समय मिलता था बीच में, और उस 3-4 घंटे में लगता था चलो ऐसा करते हैं, धूप में बैठते हैं, छत पे बैठते हैं, और अपनी घर की छत से 7 women ने 15 मार्च 1959 में ये एक मुहिम स्टार्ट की. एंड द फर्स्ट डे 8 किलो पापड़ से उन्होंने 50 पैसे की कमाई की. जब उनको लगा हम 7 women 1 किलो पापड़ से 50 पैसे की कमाई कर सकते हैं, नेक्स्ट डे उन्होंने उस क्वांटिटी को डबल कर दिया. They made 2 kgs of papad, and from that 2 kgs of papad, they had 1 rupee of profit in 1959. A profit of 1 rupee. In 1959, a profit of 1 rupee was actually a game changer for them. 50 पैसे से 1 रुपए से this changed the game. They thought जब हम 7 women इकट्ठे हैं, तो अगर हम मोहल्ले की, जब ये बात फैली ना कि हमने एक दिन में 2 किलो पापड़ से 1 रुपया कमाया, और वो पैसा हमने सब में बांटा, सबको एक equal profit share मिला. It was an amazing thing for them. This flew like a fire, and everybody came to Jaswanti Ben. हम भी पापड़ बनाएंगे, आपकी छत पे आके बनाएंगे. तो वो 7 से 15 हुआ, 15 से 20 हुआ. छत इतनी बड़ी नहीं थी कि 50 वर्कर्स को भी समा सके. धीरे धीरे उनको लगा जब 50 वर्कर्स भी या 50 लेडीज मेरी छत पे नहीं बैठ पा रही हैं, तो फिर हम क्या करें. इट बिकेम अ कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट. सबके पास अपनी अपनी छत थी. छत इसलिए यूज की जाती थी बिकॉज सुखाने होते थे पापड़, नीचे बना के छत पे सुखाना इज अ प्रोसेस पापड़ बनाने में. And Jaswanti Ben and the ladies, they became the first entrepreneurs in cooperative movement of India. And अब उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि best part of cooperative ownership or women entrepreneurship here is that सबके पास equal share है. There is nobody as boss and nobody as a junior. There is nobody as senior and junior. किसी की कमान मानने की जरूरत नहीं है. हर कोई कमा रहा है, बराबर कमा रहा है और मेहनत से कमा रहा है. और हर कोई अपने 3-4 घंटे वो जब वो सोता था, बातें करता था, गप्पे मारता था, उसको यूज करके घर का खर्चा चला रहा है, एड ऑन कर रहा है और एक सेल्फ आइडेंटिटी क्रिएट कर रहा है. दैट इज वेयर द डिफरेंस केम एज अ सेल्फ आइडेंटिटी और रिकॉग्निशन being recognized. yes, आज मैंने 1 रुपया कमाया, आज मेरी कमाई से 1 रुपया घर में आया. That was a big thing. और आज मेरी कमाई से घर किचन में ये चीज आई. That added a great recognition, as not only recognition, एक प्रेस्टीज उनको लगने लगा. एंड धीरे धीरे मुहिम बढ़ती गई और आज ये मुहिम इतनी बड़ी हो गई है कि from 7 workers it has become 45,000 workers. 45,000 workers are a big team of women working for Lijjat Papad. And कैसे काम करता है? And they were not educated. First of all, no education, no technical support, no qualification. हो सकता है शायद पढ़ी हुई भी ना हो, illiterate हो, but gaining 1 rupee or 2 rupee or additional benefit to the home was adding as a recognition, and they were feeling proud. Their proudness was coming. So in those they started growing. धीरे धीरे अब 45,000. अब how is this present model today? From that small 7 people to this present model today, how is this model still so successful? It is, they are exporting they're exporting in more than what do you call it as 82. Their presence is in 25 states, 82 branches, and they're exporting 80 crore rupees of papad across the world. That's the present state that they have. And it's not only legit, they have expanded and they have moved into further kitchen products of kitchen products, even toiletries by the name of Sasa. Sasa is an add-on to Lijjat Papad, Lijjat brand. Sasa masala, Sasa detergent tikya, this is an add-on to them. But before Sasa, how has this become such a strong model to be recognized and to be followed? It is Lijjat Papad. What they do is, अगर हम अब बनाना शुरू करें, अगर हम यहाँ पर बोले दिल्ली में कि आप लोग पापड़ बनाओ, जो लेडीज घर में बैठती है, रूरल इंडिया में जो लेडीज घर में बैठती हैं, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आएगी जो रॉ मटेरियल है. रॉ मटेरियल अगर डिफरेंट होगा, Sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The same. Okay. I hope bore नहीं हो रहे ना sir? कोई bore
नहीं,
नहीं हो रहा
madam.
ना please?
No. It's very interesting.
Okay. So the biggest problem is, अगर मैं अपने घर में पापड़ बनाऊंगी, कोई अपने घर में पापड़ बनाएगा, सब अपने अपने घर में पापड़ बना रहे हैं, तो उनको लगा कि it is leading to de-standardization. तो एक उन्होंने इसका मॉडल का सोल्यूशन निकाला. द प्रॉब्लम इज डी-स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन, स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन नहीं, तो उन्होंने स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन फॉलो किया, जहां पर सबको एक कॉमन रॉ मटेरियल प्रोवाइड किया जाता था. कॉमन रॉ मटेरियल मतलब सबको एक कॉमन आटा गूंद के दिया जाता था, डो बना के दिया जाता था, एंड उस डो को कलेक्ट करने के लिए कलेक्टिंग सेंटर बना दिया. एंड दैट फ्रॉम दैट कलेक्टिंग सेंटर कॉमन स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड डो वाज गिवन, प्लस चकला और बेलन जिस पे बनाया जा रहा है उसको भी स्टैंडर्डाइज किया. हर कोई अपने अपने घर का चकले बेलन यूज नहीं. That's how standardization was maintained so many years back, because they were facing problem कि standardization नहीं आ रहा. In order to maintain standardization, until now that standardization is being maintained, and 45,000 women earning nearly 10 to 15,000 rupees a month is giving a big activity in the market. It is adding to the GDP of the market and making India recognized throughout the world through the cooperative movement. And अब उस women क्या करती हैं, सुबह डो लेके आती हैं और उसके लिए खुद नहीं जाती हैं, because women के पास अपने सोर्स नहीं है जाने का. तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने क्या किया, कीपिंग द सोल्यूशन टू दिस प्रॉब्लम इन माइंड, बस स्टार्ट की. वो बस लिज्जत गांव में, जहां पर women प्रोवाइड करती हैं पापड़, उस गांव में जाती हैं, women उसमें बैठती हैं सुबह, उस बस से वो वहां पर जाती हैं, अपना डो लेती हैं, और एक दिन पहले के जो पापड़ बने हुए वो वहां पर देती हैं, उसका पैसे लेती हैं, और नेक्स्ट डे का रॉ मटेरियल ले आती हैं उस दिन काम करने के. So the output is given to them, and the input for the coming day is also given to them. So both input and output is done by the one single process of बस पे जाने से. तो इस तरह से पूरा का पूरा कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट मैनेज हो रहा है. एंड इससे क्या हुआ, लिज्जत ने सभी विमेन को इज्जत दी, एंड जो मजदूर से वो लोग मालिक बन गए. That is a big contribution of Lijjat Papad in the entrepreneurship domain for women. And it's not only this. So what was behind this is what do you call it as? Jaswanti Bain used to say कि तद्मीयता से मध्यता की तरफ हम मूव करते. That means तद्मीयता means मैं इस कंपनी का हूँ, और मध्यता means यह कंपनी मेरी है. मैं इस कंपनी का हूँ, ये कंपनी मेरी है, से कंसेप्ट चेंज किया बाय वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. मैं इस कंपनी का हूँ तो आप छोड़ के जा सकते हो, पर जब ये कंपनी मेरी है, that's called as profit sharing in the company. That's called as cooperative movement. And this is what is the concept of cooperative movement behind the whole Lijjat Papads. And okay, not only this, I just wanted to add one more thing. जब ये outsource कर, that means outsourcing, sorry, जब ये raw material लाते हैं आटा गूंदने का, that is completely from they have even planned that this supply chain manage करते हैं, level 1, level 2, level 3, P1, P1, 2, 3. They have also done the same. हींग आती है अफगानिस्तान से, दाल केरला से, काली मिर्च केरला से. डिफाइंड है, सोर्सेज डिफाइंड है. अगर वहां नहीं तो नेक्स्ट लेवल, थर्ड लेवल, 3 लेवल्स के बाद अगर नहीं आते तो रॉ मटेरियल they don't take the raw material. So they are very stringent with the quality of raw material, from the sourcing of the raw material to making of the papad पूरा सिखाना. Not only this, how women got so happy with this women entrepreneurship and how it propelled further. फिर धीरे धीरे, बिकॉज women को एक बहुत बड़ा शौक होता है ज्वेलरी का. women wants jewelry, पैसा आ रहा है, लग रहा है, घर में लग रहा है. तो they started with another thing. women who जिन्होंने इतना अमाउंट पापड़ बना लेंगे, तो उन्होंने अवार्ड देना शुरू कर दिया इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गोल्ड. तो धीरे धीरे women ने अपना गोल्ड, अपनी ज्वेलरी, उस गोल्ड से ज्वेलरी बनानी शुरू कर दी. And it became as a happy family where she was not even demanding jewelry or gold from anybody else. She was herself making her own jewelry through her own kitchen resource, through her own cooperative movement. So this is all about Lijjat Papad. And from that, it has today it is reached at a stage. In order to standardization to be followed, it has 21-member committee, again comprising of all the members who feel they can take up a position of handling leadership. They have president, vice president, and a treasurer who handles the complete operation of 45,000 women. It's not easy. It's a big enterprise kind of a thing, but all being done through a very easy way. अब एक चीज आप लोगों के दिमाग में नहीं आती कि इतनी सारी women जब इकट्ठी होती हैं तो गॉसिप नहीं करती. I hope I'm audible to everybody and I hope I'm being understood to everybody. दो women इकट्ठी होती हैं तो गॉसिप करती हैं. जब इतनी सारी women जब इकट्ठी होती हैं तो गॉसिप नहीं करती. Can't it be a problem to the organization? इतनी सारी जब women इकट्ठी होंगी तो गॉसिप करेंगी. Can anybody add to it, please?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, when many people get together, many females get together, they will chat definitely. They will gossip.
So, in order to have a solution to this problem, and specifically women, दो women मिलेंगी तो बातें करेंगी, तीन मिलेंगी तो और बातें करेंगी, group बढ़ता जाएगा तो obviously gossiping will be gossiping mongers. So they kept this as a policy. They have this policy that प्रतिज्ञा पत्र भरवाया कि आप जब 4 घंटे हमें देंगी, जितने घंटे आप हमें देंगी, आप पूरी तन्मयता से वो पापड़ बनाने में देंगी. क्योंकि अगर आपने गॉसिप की तो आपके अंदर जो व्यवहार में जो नेगेटिविटी आएगी ना, हम वो नेगेटिविटी अपने टेस्ट में नहीं चाहते. This is their प्रतिज्ञा पत्र. This is their undertaking that they take from women before they join. And every woman knows that they have to make papad with a positivity. So this is called as the SOP that they follow. A very simple thing. And वो हर लेडी बड़ी तन्मयता से बड़े प्यार से पापड़ बनाती है without any negative thought. अगर negative thought आता भी है तो उसको लगता नहीं, मैंने जो undertaking, जो मेरा ethics है, वो मेरे को is taking it against. The beautiful thing. And we in organization, छोटे-छोटे organizations में लड़ते रहते हैं. But this is a beautiful SOP that they made. I hope I can move ahead, sir. I hope आप लोग बोर नहीं हो रहे हैं. I hope without PPT काम चल रहा है.
Yes, ma'am.
अच्छा चलिए सर. आपको तो फोर्सफुली बोलना पड़ेगा शायद, बाकियों का मुझे नहीं पता सर. आई होप
नहीं मैडम ऐसा नहीं है. The topic is very interesting. You are giving the better examples.
Okay. So then came another lady. This Jaswanti Bain, she got Padma Shri. I'm picking up all those ladies. I'm trying to pick up all those ladies who have got Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan. Then we'll pick up latest ladies जो आजकल नहीं आई हैं. हम तो अपने आप को लेटेस्ट भी नहीं बोल सकते, ओल्ड भी नहीं बोल सकते. But I'll pick up few examples. Then comes this lady, Jaswanti Bain. She got Padma Bhushan this time from the President of India in 2021. So I thought we should discuss her example. Then came Sudha Murthy. Again, she got Padma Bhushan. So Sudha Murthy's example I would like to take. I hope I can go ahead with the example. Shall I move ahead?
Yes.
We all know Sudha Murthy. It is a bit opposite to our Lijjat Papad lady, that is Jaswanti Bain Popat. It's completely opposite. Jaswanti Bain Popat was not educated, was illiterate, or was little of literacy which she might be having. But Sudha Murthy, the first engineer of India, the first women engineer for India is Sudha Murthy. Wow. A lady at her, if I'm not going wrong, I do not have the data, but if I'm not going wrong, in 1950s, again 59, 60 was a time when she became the first engineer, perhaps near 60s. So she became the first engineer. And at that time, people did not go for engineering. Women did not go for engineering. They were moving, जैसे cooperative movement ने एक तहलका मचा दिया था, तो थोड़ा सा तहलका मचा था nursing में, because health care में nursing की requirement थी हमें. Nursing में requirement थी. लोग doctors की तरफ move करे, doctors बन रही थी ladies. आर्ट्स ले रही थी, आर्ट्स मतलब पॉलिटिकल साइंस, आर्ट्स के सब्जेक्ट फेमस थे. साइंस फॉर वुमेन वाज रेयर एंड दैट टू इंजीनियरिंग वाज द रेयरेस्ट. बट शी डिड डेयर टू बिकम एन इंजीनियर बिकॉज शी सेज मुझे हमेशा क्वेश्चनिंग होती थी, ये ऐसा क्यों है, ये ऐसा क्यों है, ये ऐसा क्यों है. तो उनके फादर ने बोलते थे ये ऐसा पढ़ाई से पता चलेगा, हमें तो नहीं पता. तो शी सेड कैसे पता चलेगा, इंजीनियरिंग करके पता चलेगा. इन इंजीनियरिंग व्हेन शी चेक्ड आउट There was not even a single female, and her teachers discouraged, beta sare female, koi bhi female nahi hai, tum akeli ho jao. She was a single day lady who thought of becoming an engineer. And further, not only to this, after becoming a first engineer, she became first engineer. She joined TCS, worked there as a first woman lady in TCS. After that, she says, whatever you can do, do your best. Keeping this principle in mind, she got married to Narayan Murthy. He was also an engineer. And Narayan Murthy ने पूरी अपनी जिंदगी झोंक दी इंफोसिस बनाने में, बट एक पॉलिसी बनाई कि हस्बैंड वाइफ एक कंपनी में काम नहीं करेंगे. जब हस्बैंड वाइफ एक कंपनी में काम नहीं करेंगे तो कौन कॉम्प्रोमाइज करेगा? In spite of being the first engineer of India, women engineer of India, it was a lady, obviously, who would do the sacrifice. Because Narayan Murthy was a founder, 10 months वो बाहर रहते थे, बाहर घूमते थे, establish कर रहे थे business को, लोगों से मिल रहे थे, मतलब there were a lot of activities which are being outsourced, develop कर रहे थे company को, और बहुत मेहनत चाहिए develop करने में. So she said she had 2 kids at that time, and she said, that's again, I'll repeat what she said, whatever you do your best and do it with commitment. So with my commitment was for kids. दो ही नारायण मूर्ति was sharing, तब तो फोन भी नहीं होते थे, जब वो आते थे 8-10 महीने बाद घर पे, तब ये लोग डिस्कशन करते थे, ये प्रॉब्लम्स एंड सॉल्यूशंस पे बैठते थे, because she herself was in India. She has added on, though she is the chairperson of Infosys, but she has not worked together with Infosys with Narayan Murthy. So and then, but इसका फायदा क्या हुआ? What advantage she has taken out of this? The best advantage she has taken is she became, whatever thoughts came to her, she started penning it down. लिखना शुरू कर दिया. जब पेन डाउन करना शुरू किया, it gave her new heights. She did not think that she had this capability. But जब शुरू किया, Narayan Murthy said, you're right. Whether right or wrong doesn't matter, but you're right. And now she is a bestseller. She's an author, she's a philanthropist, she's a bestseller. She has written so many books for children, beautiful books. Please, if you are those ladies who are having young children, buy her books. Keeping her books in mind, I have followed her book and I have written a book, Learning Management from Fables. मैंने सारी books, I had my daughter, बेटी के लिए I think 10-12 books में उनकी पढ़ी. बहुत अच्छी books लिखी, बहुत easy English में लिखती हैं. Please follow her books.
They are very good books. Even my daughter has How I Taught My Grandmother and a bag of stories.
Yes, and many more. A lot of them. And she also shares, because I've read their biographies actually. तो मैं तो जो biography पढ़ी है मैं वही थोड़ा आपको सुना रही हूँ. अगर प्लीज बोर हो जाओ तो मुझे रोक देना कि बस अब और नहीं. सर एक बहुत important काम किया उन्होंने as a philanthropist, कि वो केरला की हैं, हुबली गांव की हैं, सुधा मूर्ति जी. हुबली गांव में सर केरला के हैं. वहां पर केरला में एक बेसिकली what do you call it as देवदासीज हैं. वहां पर एक देवदासीज का पूरा एक मोहल्ला है, 3000 women का. How she became a philanthropist, how she became an author, again the same we have talked about. Another angle is how she became a philanthropist. When she came to know that I'm at home and मेरे घर के पास ही देवदासीज रहती हैं, this can impact the society. And जब उन्होंने उनको observe किया, देखा, तो she at a very younger age went to उस देवदासीज के घर गई. वहां पर, और घर मीन्स उस मोहल्ले में गई और उनके लिए कुछ करना चाहती थी. तो देवदास, because she was short heighted, वेस्टर्न इंजीनियरिंग की थी, शर्ट और ट्राउजर पहन के, बाल छोटे थे, तो उन देवदासीज ने उनको एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया और उनको बोला क्या तुम मॉडर्न हो. उनको लिटरली इफ यू रीड अ बायोग्राफी, चप्पल मारी, चप्पलें फेंकी उनके ऊपर, नॉट टू एंटर आवर रिजन. वो हिम्मत करी, वापस गई, अपने हस्बैंड के सामने रोई, फिर वापस आई और दोबारा नेक्स्ट टाइम टमाटर फेंके. But still she didn't stop. She had that courage because she thought these 3,000 women who are not understanding at present which trouble they are, अपने लिए कितनी problematic है, क्या करना चाहती थी. वहां जाके किसी ने मुझसे पूछा ही नहीं. वहां देवदासी के वहां पर क्यों जाना चाहती थी, ब्रॉथल में? Because in Kerala at that time AIDS started spreading and she wanted to create awareness about AIDS and how to use condoms and use contraceptives, so that she can teach them that by using contraceptives you can come out of AIDS. but the ladies were not ready to accept. And ultimately, she didn't give up. Third time she went, she talked to them. She talked to their children. She made their children understand. She made them understand. And now she's known as mother of those Devdasis. वो उनको भगवान की तरह मानती हैं, उनको भगवान की तरह पूजा करती हैं, बिकॉज वहां से एड्स की बीमारी केरला से बिल्कुल खत्म कर दी. तो जब हिम्मत है ना, चाहे आप घर बैठे हो, nobody can stop you. और शायद यही हिम्मत मेरे अंदर अभी थोड़ी सी आई कि लैपटॉप जब नहीं चला, मैंने कहीं कॉपी भी नहीं किया, मेरी गलती है पीपीटी को, और एक बार को मायूस भी हुई कि सर को बोलूं कि सर मैं प्रेजेंटेशन के बिना नहीं लूंगी. तो मुझे लगा कि when these ladies whom I'm taking an example can go ahead, ये तो छोटी सी पीपीटी थी, शायद कुछ डेटा नहीं याद रहेगा, but I know I've read those biographies, why can't I speak out? So she got Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri मिला जसवंती भेन जी को. एक और ऐसे सर, अब बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स एज ए वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर हमें पता है, बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स. वी नो किरण मजूमदार शाह, वी नो बहुत सारे, सनाज हुसैन. दैट्स गुड कि अच्छा पीपीटी खराब हो गई, उन पे टाइम वेस्ट नहीं होगा, बिकॉज हम सब जानते हैं उनको. एक दो मैं लेटेस्ट एग्जांपल्स और लेना चाहूंगी जिन्होंने यूनिकॉर्न कंपनीज अपनी सेटअप की और बहुत बड़ा नाम कमाया एंड तहलका मचा दिया. एट प्रेजेंट इस इंडस्ट्री, मतलब as a women entrepreneur, they have got huge recognition. One of them is a big name. Sir, can I continue for another 5-10 minutes? कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं? या टाइम खत्म हो गया?
You can continue. You can continue.
सर दो बस छोटे-छोटे दो एग्जांपल, बहुत ज्यादा गहराई में नहीं जाऊंगी.
No problem, ma'am. You can continue. Okay.
Two examples of unicorns. Or this is the lady. If I can anybody guess the lady who had brought an IPO recently in the market, and the IPO was a huge success. A lady who's in
Nika.
Yes, it's Nika, and it's Faguni Nair, right? Faguni Nair is a educated lady, engineer. Engineer नहीं, she's an educated lady, management profession में है. मेरे को background नहीं पता, मैंने miss कर रही हूँ, बहुत पहले पढ़ा था. और but she worked for Kotak Mahindra Bank, and Kotak Mahindra Bank में she was working for NBFC में काम करती थी, पूरे Kotak Mahindra Bank की NBFC उसको संभालती थी. छोटी सी स्टोरी करके इसको I'll end up Nika. In 1994, she was very happy with the working in India, very happy. 1994, her husband got an option to go to London, and obviously what will happen? When her husband has got an option to go to London, she was shifting to London. A lady who's married has to obviously leave with the husband and leave her job. ऐसा ही होता है ना. हम में से अभी भी बहुत कम डेयरिंग लेडीज हैं जो कहेंगी नहीं आप जाओ, मैं यहीं रहूंगी, अपने प्रोफेशन को कंटिन्यू करूंगी. अभी भी वो शायद वो डेयर, अभी भी वो शायद करेज हमारे में नहीं आया है. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर दैट डे, शायद जब वो करेज हमारे में, वो भी करेज आ जाएगा. नहीं, आई विल नॉट लीव माय प्रोफेशन. ऐसा होगा, फ्यूचर में जरूर होगा. एनीवे सर, well, in 1994 when she went, her husband went. At that time she अंदर कीड़ा था कि मैं काम नहीं कर रही हूँ, जॉब नहीं कर रही हूँ. She talked to Kotak Mahindra Bank before leaving. She tried कि try करती हूँ. Kotak Mahindra Bank में she talked to the owners, the management, that can we open a Kotak Mahindra Bank in London? And they loved this idea. And that's how first Kotak Mahindra Bank in London came, because of her efforts. And she was so happy. It was completely her efforts. She was the one who made that team there. They started their NBFC team there, and they started the Kotak Mahindra Bank in London. But when she was meeting her clients like Ronnie Shaw, Ajay Bijli, what do you call it as Priya Cinemas, UTV, तो कहीं ना कहीं उनके मन में था कि अब थोड़े टाइम के बाद की जॉब बहुत हो गई, कुछ ना कुछ. जब इन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स ने मेरे फ्रेंड्स ने स्टार्ट किया, तो आई शुड आल्सो स्टार्ट. And luckily one day, though she doesn't use much of makeup, luckily one day she went to a mall in London, and she saw, and एकदम दिमाग में आया, जैसे देखा मेकअप देखा, दिमाग में आया. जब मेरी शादी हुई थी तो मुझे तो शादी में क्या मिला था? एक लिपस्टिक, बिंदी और काजल. ये तीन चीजें थी मेरी मेकअप किट में, what is so called as makeup kit. and belonging to a learned, educated family. ये तीन चीजें थी. But here is a huge range. Rather, stores पूरे cosmetics के available हैं. That gave her the idea that India has a huge potential for cosmetics. And why can't I open up this in India? Why can't we have this huge potential of opening the and she entered the cosmetic market. And that time, not cosmetic market, 2012 में idea आया उनको, after few years working with the Kotak Bank in London. 2012 में जब ये idea आया, but idea में एक और खामी क्या थी, एक और जो कीड़ा था उस idea में, that was online करूंगी business. Husband ने बोला online करो, offline investment मत करो, तुम यहाँ पर हो लंदन में रह के वापस इंडिया जाके it will be tough. So she said tough is okay, but solution is online business. Let's start with online business. Online business start किया cosmetics का 2012 में. Nobody in the market in India was doing this online business for cosmetics. It was not a success initially. It was people did not know because online हम लोग attached नहीं थे, हमारे पास internet connections नहीं थे. धीरे धीरे जब internet came into being, COVID added advantage to her. सबके घर में internet था, घर पे सब ladies थी और शायद makeup करके उनको अच्छा लगता. Today she's not only having Nykaa cosmetics. Today at this stage, she's having Nykaa fashion. I do not know how many of us know this. She's having Nykaa fashion. Nykaa fashion का IPO आया था market में. And हम लोग तो सिर्फ Nykaa cosmetics जानते हैं. Because cosmetic was the first thing she started marketing and she started propagating. If you go to her website, आपको goggles खरीदने हो, कपड़े खरीदने हो, आप Flipkart भूल जाओगे. सारे brands, she has कितने brands? I think if I'm not wrong, she has 2 lakh brands of kids, men, women, home decor, all at one place through Nykaa fashion. And I think a day will come when Flipkart or Amazon will say, Nykaa, या तो मेरे साथ आजा. Some merger or acquisition will take place if she agrees to it, because she is becoming so big. She's becoming so big by introducing a light IPO in the market. She followed 3 principles. That was curation, content, and convenience. Curation means partnership. कि एक business से काम नहीं चलेगा cosmetics. कोविड ने सिखाया कि अगर एक बिजनेस बंद होता है तो आपके पास और ऑप्शंस होनी चाहिए बिजनेस करने के. अगर एक फ्लॉप होता है तो और एक्सपैंड करो. तो Nykaa fashion was a idea of COVID. So she went into partnerships. This made her, she has tied up with 250 brands across the world. You go to Nykaa fashion, or you will find n number of brands. And और आगे से ना फ्लिपकार्ट पे जाना पक्का बंद कर दो. मतलब इतना सारा सामान आ जाता है Nykaa से. Then comes content. She educated her people. Education, bloggers पे काम किया, blogs पे काम किया, content पे कैसे काम किया, because she did not want to go for huge investment. She believed in the principle of Indian principle. मतलब नुकसान नहीं होना चाहिए. जो idea वो ये ना हो कि बैंक से पैसा मिल रहा है, but बैंक का भी तो पैसा कहीं से आ रहा है ना, hard earned money है. So that she said nothing doing. Content में कंटेंट कहाँ से डेवलप हुआ? मैंने प्रोडक्ट को यूज किया, I give my review. So I became an advertiser to her if I'm agreeing to it. So she started on her blog, people started commenting. She used people who are consuming her product as her advertisers. Instagram, Facebook, all those social media platforms and advertisement, and then her IPO came. And last thing is convenience. Convenience is one thing. अगर कोई Amazon use करता है उससे परेशान हो गए हो, कोई और platform use करे हो, international platform, go to Nykaa. It's very easy, very easy. So convenience is one thing. Her daughter helped her out in that business. So these are 3 examples that I have made 2-3 more if you otherwise. So I would say this is a unicorn company I wanted to add, and 2 Padma Bhushan and Padma Bhushan जिनको मिला, वो examples मुझे लगा मेरे को जरूर बताने चाहिए. And I'm really sorry कि अगर time है तो मैं continue कर सकती हूँ, नहीं है तो just one more example of Divya Gokulnath, if you know her by name. Divya Gokulnath. बस नाम बता दूंगी. Anybody who knows who's Divya Gokulnath? Just anybody who knows who's Divya Gokulnath? It's the lady co-founder of
Byju's.
Byju's. Yeah, co-founder of Byju's. Yes. Again, it's a big story. A beautiful biography she has. Her husband, padha tha maine thoda sa. Anyways, please go ahead. Divya Gokulnath is another unicorn, what do you call it as, player in the market. And one more unicorn player is Upasna Taku. Upasna Taku is the co-founder of MobiBic, the first paper Paytm, first what do you call it as online wallet, payment wallet. Again, a unicorn company doing very well in the market. Hanji, sir. It's MobiBic. Sir, so I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I have spoken without the PPT and आपको कुछ दिखा नहीं पाई. मेरी गंदी सी शक्ल आपको देखने के लिए मिल रही थी सिर्फ.
No, ma'am, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's very nice.
So I hope, sir, and I really regret.
Ma'am, there is a solution. If you want, you can share your PPT on the email ID, and we will share it with the participants.
Sir, actually laptop ही on नहीं हो रहा है. उसका ना charging point खराब हो गया.
No problem. Whenever it will be available, then you can send us.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. तो सुबह से दिखा रहा था battery off, battery low. मैंने charging से लगाया हुआ था नीचे ही साथ में power plug से. वो अब तो
it's okay, ma'am. It's okay. There is no problem.
I'll share, sir. It's 28 to 30 page, 30 PPTs. 30 उसमें सर उसमें government initiatives, government what काफी कुछ है कर सकते.
Good. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Over
a lot.
to you, sir, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Ritu ma'am. Actually, क्योंकि हमारे साथ सभी faculty members हैं, and we all do know that we talk about a topic of communication with students, and we say that communication is completed when the receiver understands it in the very same manner as we are trying to deliver. And you have so aptly made it, correct today, because you ensured that everyone is actually understanding in the way that you are trying to communicate. And certainly the way when you ask questions in between, so that holds a grip of the audience that yes, okay, something is going on and we need to answer. And मतलब आपने इतने सारे names बोले, and of course being honest, few of them even I didn't know, and I was doing Google कि okay ये क्या है, ये कौन है, what about this? So we get more intrigued, कि हाँ, there are so many things that we need to talk, and I think the objective of these seminars is certainly where we can have different thoughts to divulge upon or to discuss upon. And you have given us a lot of food for thought today, and we are just wondering that without presentation you have given such an excellent session, and had you used a PPT it would have been really ma'am, certainly want that things should be communicated well, and it has been done. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now may I please take this opportunity and invite Ms. Hina, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce, to propose a formal vote of thanks for such an impactful session.
Thank you so much. So it's blessing in disguise, right, sir?
Definitely, ma'am, it has been a blessing in disguise.
Chavi ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all. I, Hina, on behalf of the organizing team of the seminar, would like to propose vote of thanks to our eminent speaker, Dr. Ritu Bajaj, who is Chairperson, Department of Management, Indira Gandhi University, Mirpur. Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an enlightening session, and thank you for enlightening us with your knowledge. Ma'am, you started your presentation with 3 K's and 3 E's. I think the examples of women entrepreneurs motivated most of us, and we women can do so many things and can excel in any field. God has given us the superpower to love, believe, to be diligent in our vocation, to be a wife, to be a mother, to care for our household, to be a helper for husband, and simultaneously to be a great entrepreneur and to be respectable. Dr. Ritu gave insights into the life of various women entrepreneurs, how they faced so many difficulties in their journey, but they didn't stop. नारी तुम्हें रुकना नहीं, चलते जाना है, बढ़ते जाना है, जब तक तुम अपनी मंजिल तक नहीं पहुंच जाती. It was really informative session in true sense. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge you gave us will definitely help the budding researchers and academicians. My team and I are so lucky to have a resource person like you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your expertise. We look forward to have you again in our next seminar as well. And thank you so much, ma'am, for inspiring and encouraging us with your thought-provoking and motivational address on this special day. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you to the complete team and the college, and specifically all my people sitting here. Hinaji, Dr. Mohit, and ma'am, I'm not able to see you. It is you're the host.
Yeah, my name is Chavi, ma'am.
Sorry?
Chavi Kiran.
Chavi. Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Chavi ji. Dr. Mohit, you have a great team.
Ma'am, there is a request that presentations will be there for some participants. You are requested
Okay.
to please stay with us.
I'll be there. मैं तो सुबह से हूँ सर. वो दिख नहीं रही थी अलग बात है.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. And I'm sorry. I'm again sorry for. मैं PPT भेज दूँगी सर. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritu ma'am, and thank you, Hina ma'am, for proposing a beautiful vote of thanks. And so moving ahead with the seminar, and where we say it is a platform where everyone can exchange ideas. So वो उस statement को fulfill करने के लिए that yes, we are actually here so that we can discuss with each other, or we can see how others are working in this domain. So for that, we are starting with the paper presentations, and amongst us, we have the very first presenter, Dr. Rajesh K. Pandey and Ms. Jeenal Khilari, who are going to present a paper titled A Study on Social Entrepreneurship in Indian Context. So may I please invite Dr. Rajesh and the co-author.
Chavi ji, do you mind if I switch off my camera? Is it okay?
Ma'am, yes, it is absolutely fine, as you feel convenient.
Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Can I get the access to share the slide? Yeah, I got it. So,
Yeah.
just a second, I'm trying.
Sure, sir.
Are the slide visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to take it to full screen. Just guide me if it is visible to all. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. It's visible in full screen mode.
All right then. So, good afternoon to the August gathering. I am Dr. Rajesh Kumar Pandey, along with my student Ms. Jeenal Khilari. We are presenting to you at this national conference a paper on social entrepreneurship in India. We'll be taking you through the introduction, the objectives, research methodology, social entrepreneurship avenues and examples. We will talk about the developmental model that we have come up with. We will conclude with the future scope of study. I'll request my student Jeenal to take it further.
Yeah. Social entrepreneurs are those exceptional individuals who dream up and take the responsibility for an innovative and untested ideas for positive social change and urge that idea from dream to reality. Unlike a charitable organization, social entrepreneurship provides benefit to the society at the large. Social entrepreneurship has identified its purpose, and today we find a sky of opportunity surrounding the entrepreneurial society, be it consumer comfort product or a medical product, be it toy for the kid or a machine for B2B operation. Societal focus is implanted all across. Now, here the literature review. LR was conducted with the help of 9 research articles, references from 2 books, and 7 online sources. The LR led to the massive learning on social entrepreneurship concepts, avenues, and the significance. The LR helped to gather examples on social entrepreneurs. Discuss further. The objective of the studies was to understand the concept and the significance of social entrepreneurship, to study the various avenues of social entrepreneurship, to illustrate the existing example of social entrepreneurship in the Indian context, to recommend a model for the development of social entrepreneurship in India. The research methodology, type of research was descriptive study. The data collection source was secondary, and the scope of the study was contributing to the existing literature, awareness creations, and contributing to the social entrepreneurship development through the SED methods. The limitations of the study were general observation on social entrepreneurship, rather specific to any avenue or region. The inference are indicative in natures. Research methodology process, first identifying the theme, going for literature review and objective finalization, then secondary data collection, drafting the paper, and now presenting the field. Meaning of social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurs are the individuals who are willing to create positive social changes in the society through their innovative ideas and efforts. Their success is not making profit, but making change in the society. Social entrepreneurship is also referred as altruistic entrepreneurship. Type of social entrepreneurs we have: community social entrepreneurs, non-profit social entrepreneur, transformational social entrepreneur, global social entrepreneur. Now some data and facts. Around 2 million social enterprises are there. 24% of social enterprises are led by the women. Just about 50% of enterprises are 10 to 12 years old. They are relatively new. The avenues. From this avenue, social entrepreneurship can explore, like education, agricultural business, child welfare, health and hygiene, energy and cleaning technology, skill development, financial services, self-help group, or NPO and NGOs.
There are several others as well. These are the leading avenues.
Now here comes the few leading examples for the social entrepreneurships. There are many others. First, Anush Gupta, whose organization is Gunj, and the business they run is Clothing to the Poor. Santosh Paralkar, People Trees organization, and the business they have helping youth for the rural India and suitable jobs. Urvashi Sahani, organization is Chef, and the business they run is educating girls in rural India. Harish Hande, organization name is Selco, and the business they have is solar funding programs. There are many other examples like this. Now here comes the recommendations.
All right, so this is the important part of our paper wherein we are extending a recommendation, and that is absolutely based on our understanding through the literature review and the observations that we had. The author's contribution to the through the paper is we have identified development centers. So government agencies, educational institutions, and city bodies. City bodies are more like the say municipal corporations or the panchayat houses and all. So these are the development centers who can contribute towards development of the social entrepreneurship. What can government agencies do? They can potentially help us in coming up with special incubatory cells, funding to the social ideas, identification of avenues, tapping rural entrepreneurs, ambassador support. Now, while we present this entire model to you, there will be certain things which potentially the government or the educational institutions or the city bodies are doing. Further momentum is certainly going to help. From the educational institutions, what we expect: curriculum support, live interaction with the social entrepreneurs, the special certificate courses they can come up with. We are very glad in the morning Ajay has spoke about social entrepreneurship, and some of the points were really enlightening. And certain things, certain efforts are already taken. Identification of the avenues educational institutions can support. They can promote social entrepreneurship as a career option to the students. What can city bodies do? The municipal corporation, the panchayats at the village level, they can recognize the people who are into social entrepreneurship to encourage them. They can identify further avenues. The tie-ups with the ventures already there, promoting NPO and NGOs in the region, and promoting social clubs. All this together potentially will help in coming up with a said model that we are preparing, social entrepreneurship development model. At this stage, this model is a prescription through our research paper, potential is working further on this particular model and connecting with the respective agencies. Conclusion to our paper. The conclusion is massively based on our literature review and theoretical background. The social entrepreneurs, they meet the societal needs of the society. They study on social entrepreneurship. It demonstrates the real-time social entrepreneurs that we have spoken about. Most importantly, the study concludes that social entrepreneurs are the visionary leaders. They are the ones who have the high degree of social focus. They are ambitious, the capacity of continuous adoption. They are creative, resourceful, and resilient. The final point was on the recommendation aspect. We have recommended said model, which has certainly a future scope of study. This current paper is more on the theoretical background and knowing about the entrepreneurs. The future scope of the study comprises of selecting regions for the study or specific industry and to present the scope and effectiveness of social entrepreneurship in the selected sphere. This model that we have presented, that has a further support wherein we can take it further to the local bodies and discuss further and potentially exhibit it for the greater mankind. These were the references that we have used for the paper. A big thank you to the organizing team and appreciate the audiences for patient listening. We are open to questions if any. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rajesh and Ms. Jindal for actually presenting a very thought-provoking paper. And if participants would like to post any questions, they are most welcome to put it up in the chat box. And in case, Ritu ma'am, would you like to contribute something for this presentation? Okay, so sir, meanwhile, participants are, sharing their thoughts or their questions in the chat box. We must say that you have mentioned that you're talking about social entrepreneurship on a theoretical perspective, but we say that once we have a theoretical foundation, only then we can move towards something more application oriented. And this is what actually you have done very well through this paper, and you've been very consistent for this participation in the seminar as well. So on behalf of the entire organizing team, we would like to thank you and your co-author for being here and presenting the paper.
Thank you.
In case, thank you, sir. And in case we don't have any questions from the participants, can we move ahead to our next presenter?
Thank you. Once again, thank you to the organizers and thank you to the audiences. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I think we can call upon our next presenter, that is Dr. Mamta Chawla from AGBS Noida, who's going to present a paper on women entrepreneurship and the road of challenge. Dr. Mamta.
Very good afternoon, Chavi ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I think my college background is there, not like yours. So very good afternoon to each one of you. Chavi ma'am, it's very nice to see you in face to face, basically. It was only chatting. So my dean is also there, my co-author. So I want to share my slides and sorry that I am unable to share. Good afternoon, Prajita ma'am.
Very good afternoon to everyone present over here. Good afternoon.
Okay, before we start, I really want to thank Dr. Ajay, professor from KU. Basically, that was inspiring, the opening, the resource person. I really thoroughly enjoyed. The second, I really personally felt very nice to be with or to hear with Dr. Ritu Bajaj. I really hands off, like the way she and especially that Lijjat Papa. I have heard so many times that story, but it's just thoroughly like the way she was telling every episode, like she was a witness. So I really want to thank once again Dr. Ritu Bajaj. It was really Indira Gandhi University. It was really, really nice to hear you. And let me introduce by the time I get the sharing rights.
Ma'am, you can try now. The sharing rights have been given to you.
Yes, finally. Okay, so I hope my slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am. You can put them on slideshow mode.
Yeah, I'm trying. Actually, it's taking time. Participants can, because every platform is a little different.
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm trying to put in, let me change. I think it's better. So a
Yes,
very
ma'am,
good
it's clearly
afternoon to each one of you. I'm here with my co-author, our dean of the institute. I'm from Amity University. AGBS Noida is my campus. And there is another student of mine, Ishita Banot. We are the co-authors. So my topic for the day is women entrepreneurship, and it's basically talking about. I hope my voice is clear. Okay, so the topic for our paper is women entrepreneurship and how the road is a little bumpy, and it's a review basically what is the ecosystem is working and how there are still challenges and we need to go ahead. So I'll be very brief. I've given like 10 minutes the maximum time. So I'm introducing the topic. First of all, we need to really talk about in this paper what we aimed, that what is the government and system or the government support system along with the ecosystem. That means society, how it's approving women being out, women being as a business person. And what are the factors basically that currently prevailing that are encouraging or discouraging? And what are the challenges faced by women entrepreneurship? And it's all based upon the secondary data. So before moving to different definition, like the government says 51% above, either in terms of ownership or employment, that should be the criteria to term anything like a woman entrepreneurship. So I'm taking a very comprehensive definition of woman entrepreneurship. What is it defined as? It's a woman or a group of women that come up together to form enterprise by thinking, initiating, organizing, combining. I think everything was covered very nicely by Dr. Ritu Bajaj. So I need to know, like, give a explanation. I hope the audience have already gone for it. Yes, they are taking risk. They're handling the complete economic risk, social risk, and how they are coming forward that they are going to handle the whole business in like local language we say. So these are certain schemes been listed. These are providing a strong ecosystem where the government is promoting the women to come up. So I'm not going to go in details because most of you must be aware about these like programs like Mudra, Wing, and how there are different financial assistance program, training program given to women, how they utilize. The only thing we need to really create the awareness, because we being academician, we can create those mechanisms where the people are there, the ladies are there, they are willing to work, but they are not getting the right type of guidance. That is the whole idea I'm presenting here. So the first thing which I have mentioned over here, like the motivational needs. What are the motivational needs? We can be instrumental, the institute can be instrumental, the education system can be instrumental, where they're encouraging. We are providing higher education when we are not talking about only joining the corporate. They can start at their own. So there are complete social environmental changes. So even the females are also recognizing, at least educated one, that they have a strong desire to come forward, to have that higher order achievement need. So even in our system, in our society, even the parents, they are also encouraging. No longer the system is saying that you want your daughter to be only a teacher, that the in-laws only want the girl to be in teaching job where she's balancing the complete domestic life, and we are talking about taking care of it. So the environment is also changing. On the top of it, the government initiative. Yes, I have mentioned those list of different schemes, financial assistance, training, skill development, those initiatives, those are providing a strong ecosystem where women can really outperform. Then yes, we do have role models. I'll give you certain details about it. Family occupation. Yes, no longer families want that, yes, their lady of the house should be always homemaker. So that occupation that they are also becoming second source of income or sometimes the primary source of income. Self identity and status and growing awareness. This is remarkable given our education system. No longer we are talking about only creating clerks. That is the whole idea of British education system that we are creating. So now we are talking about entrepreneurship. I think the education system completely has encouraged so many programs, so many institutes have come up. Incubators have come up in education system that have been discussed by most of our the other speakers in the morning itself. So this is a list. It's a small list where you can find out. I hope most of us are aware about Bajaj, Nika, MobiQuick, Zolo. So it's a long list. You can find like Divya ma'am is there. Falguni Nair, very famous about Nika. They started in their late age. Ma'am started with the example of Lijjat Papad long back. So there are so many such examples. How our female fraternity or the young girls, they are going to get some understanding about it and some inspiration that we need to really create those systems. There are challenges. The challenges in terms of still we need to really take care of. These challenges cannot stop. It's very true. But yes, these are challenges faced by the women entrepreneurs. So the first one is fewer sectors are women friendly. I hope number of you must have seen in Delhi NCR. The e-rickshaw is now driven by females. On petrol pump, they're working. So that way, those social silos are no longer the same. It's opening up. But there are certain still restrictions. Given, yes, late hour working or shift system, even if we have, so there are certain still limits where women are not preferred the way we are expecting. Then yes, primarily always domestic responsibility comes on women. How the family support system comes into the picture, that is very important. As the entrepreneur, the woman scale up, so she needs to devote more time. And how the men, because it's mentioned that yes, it's a men dominated, the pressure to stick to their gender roles, yes. So it's not that easy that social system provide that support that yes, the young girl can be the owner and the elderly men needs to work. So there is still that gap, especially when we are talking about our own country. Competition, yes, you may find they have to compete head on with their co-competitive. It's a very competitive market. So there is no mercy that you are being a woman. So it can sometimes like putting them down. So that is something we really see so many cases are there mentioned how they really face the challenge, how they handle. There are successful examples. Pressure too, that I have covered gender roles that yes, primarily they are always supposed to look after the family, the kids, and they are supposed to take all those mobility. Yes, again, it is something that they need to come up and they have to really come up. And number of females are doing it independently. They're traveling, they're going abroad, they're getting their clients from. So that dependency that is still there, and how they all those who come up with those hindrances, those limitations, they really succeed. Lack of education, no longer the same way. It's a family support because our education system, our PM is always promoting. There's so many such programs where they are talking about girl child education, free education, so many promotion, so many scholarships are already there. It's from societal background. It's from the family background. Not every part of the country is having the same type of system where the girls are promoted. So it's in terms of the support given by the society and the family that comes primacy. Government can't really force them. They're providing the schemes, the offering, the scholarship, and everything. So it has to be mutual. This is the understanding. Poor funding prospects. See, up to a level, government is already running so many schemes. So the only part is awareness, transparency, and how the person interested, they have to really fight their battle. So that perspective, in case they're growing, finding the partners. So those are practical things that any entrepreneur needs to really fight. And especially people may say that yes, being a woman, you may not take the same seriousness to the project or to the work in hand the way the men may take. So there can be those kind of perceptual biases. The last one is again, I suppose it's a challenge, but it can be very wisely been faced by the women entrepreneurs, how they really build their own strong professional networks rather than giving any regard to the gender discrimination and all. So they need to be thoroughly, and there are some examples. So I hope we all are aware about so many senior positions or political position being held by so many senior, like Sushma Swaraj ma'am is there. You have so many such examples, those have made the mark. In totality, still India is not performing that well in terms of having a lot of women entrepreneurship. There are still scant number of women who are taking up entrepreneurship as a first choice. They still want to be in that safe vicinity, that comfort zone. And yes, we need to really think about it, how we can really, as a academician, as a family person, how we really promote our daughters, our cousins, and give them that strength, that motivational path. Yes, we are there to support. So it's completely society's concern. That is the whole idea. And this paper is basically giving an overview. And based upon that, we can have cases of successful women and entrepreneurs. Those can be the role model. And second, we can think about how we as educational institute can promote, not only having that incubator thing, specifically for women skill development, those mentorship. So that we can do. Again, I'm not talking about creating the discrimination that yes, special scheme for women, because ultimately you have to fight, and it's only the competitor, they're going to win. There won't be any regard in the market that you're a woman or not. But yes, as a society, we need to promote. With this, I would like to conclude, and I would request Dean ma'am to say few word about the topic. Over to Aprajita ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mamta. And yes, as part of the concluding remarks, I'd just like to add over here that in spite of India being one of the countries which are fostering women entrepreneurship, there have been many initiatives which have been taken up by the government. And I was reading that, there was a Google research study that has been done that today women entrepreneurs are contributing to a very large extent. And I think by the year 2030, women entrepreneurs across India will have the capacity to provide jobs to so many people, which is running in a number of over 117 million. Okay, so that is the kind of avenue and scope and growth that you can see in terms of employment that will be generated by today's Indian women entrepreneurs, right? And I think on a very optimistic note, I think, women will be on par with the male entrepreneurs and they're doing extremely well. Of course, there will be barriers that will come across their way, but, this is slowly transcending and, they are stepping forward and they are making, what would I say, new marks, new journeys, new experiences, and they're excelling in every field of their choices which they choose. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, I would like to close and I would invite any questions about the topic.
Thank you so much, Mamta. Yeah, thank you so much, Mamta ma'am and Aprajita ma'am. And if there are any questions that participants would like to pose, they're most welcome. So today we actually have this platform available to us where, we can talk a lot and we can brainstorm on certain aspects, specifically like entrepreneurship. So in case any student has any kind of question, any participant, they're most welcome for that. Otherwise, I think we can move on to the next presentation. And once again, thank you so much, Mamta ma'am, for giving an insightful presentation on your research paper. And thank you so much, Aprajita ma'am, for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So next for the presentation, we would like to invite Ms. Monica Rathi for a paper titled Startup in India, Opportunities and Challenges. So, Monica Rathi, ma'am. I think ma'am has been disconnected from the meeting. Maybe some sort of technical glitch. So, meanwhile, ma'am joins back. May we please call upon our fourth presenter, that is Ms. Vaishnavi Joshi, for presenting a paper titled Women Entrepreneurship in the Field of Menstrual Hygiene Industry, a Contemporary Analysis. Vaishnavi ma'am, can we have you for the presentation, please?
I think Vaishnavi is not there, Chairman.
So ma'am is there in the meeting, but I think ma'am is not responding. Vaishnavi Joshi ma'am?
Hello, yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible now.
Sorry, actually there were some network issues. So can I start?
Yeah, please, ma'am. You want to share your presentation? So the presentation. Okay, so you will be able to do that. Please go ahead.
Wait a second, the PPT is opening.
It's okay.
I think there are some network issues. The PPT can't opening. So what should I do?
Vaishnavi ma'am, you can just read out in case you want to start without the presentation. It is okay. Will you be able to do
Without
that?
PPT, can I present?
Yes, definitely. At your convenience. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is women entrepreneurs in the field of menstrual hygiene industry, a contemporary analysis. As we have seen, the menstrual hygiene industry is developing so far, and menstrual hygiene is a very very warm topic. Most of the girls who can't reach proper menstrual hygiene products. So how women are doing well in this industry? I'm going to present my paper on this. So first of all, we have to. So first of all, before going to how menstrual hygiene industry is working, we have to understand what is menstruation and how it affects women's health, and how what are the needs of menstrual hygiene products. So menstruation is a natural biological reproductive cycle in which blood comes from uterus. The name menstruation comes from the Latin meaning moon, with reference to the lunar month and lasting also approximately 20 days longer. Menstruation is known as different name in different areas, such as is known as the monthly occurrences, time menstrual periods, etc. The origin of the reason, the views behind the origin of menstruation is many. In Hindu mythology, it is believed when Lord Indra served the head of the second teacher of God, Vishwarupacharya, then women got Rajaswala doshis. In Vedas, it has been declared in the Veda that guilty of killing a Brahmin mother appears every month as menstrual flow, as women has taken upon themselves a part of Indra's guilt. The objective of my study is to know the role of women entrepreneurs in the menstrual hygiene industry, and how menstrual products affect how not reaching the proper menstrual hygiene affects a woman's health. The paper is based on secondary data, books, articles, magazines, newspapers, even the reports has been taken from for the paper. Uh, There, I have the PPT is not showing, so I'm just referring to some of the women entrepreneurs name and their companies in which they are working in this field, and how they are working. So first of all, so there is a company ASEAN which is running by Ira Guha. Ira Guha is a Ira Guha is a master's student. When she was doing her master, she came to know that her friend Mary, she got her menstruation and she didn't have the sanitary napkin at that time. When asked to her, she said that she was not comfortable in the sanitary napkins, and it may cause her rashes and gives a urinary tract infection too. So this clicked a idea in Ira Guha's mind. She said that she, can- she's, she said that she was using menstrual cup ever since she was a student of political sciences. So she gave that product to the Mary, and when asked to Mary, the Mary said that it is a very it is a very comfortable product rather than the sanitary napkin. She so she started. So this idea just give a start to her mind that why not I should start a startup on this. So she started her company, which is named ACN. The ACN is a company, uh, the ACN is a company right now. It is a 300 million dollar company which is producing menstrual cups. Ira, Ira then went on to design the world best cup for women with a proprietary design removable ring. This saw the launch of the Asian menstrual cup in January. Ira partnered with Anuradha Mahadevan, a former consultant and engineer with deep local market expertise, for its launch in India. The second is Flohu Tampons by Gauri Singer. Gauri Singer is a 25-year-old founder of Flohu Tampons in the menstrual hygiene and management brand under the parental company Visionary. She says the Floho's core ideology is to share life-changing menstrual care products with passionate on-to-go women of today. In its one-year operation, the brand has already acquired 50,000 unique customers across India. Gauri says that Flo has grown its customer base by creating a 360-degree product awareness across channels. As a part of their digital-first nature, Flo launched a video campaign called Millennials at Your Cervix, where a group of millennials, both men and women, voiced their opinions about menstruation and menstrual hygiene. Flo is currently bootstrapped and conducts regular awareness sessions at schools, colleges, and corporates. Their aim is to create awareness among millennials and make life-changing menstrual hygiene products that are easily accessible, economical, and convenient for them. The third is Heyday by Dipanjali Kanoria. Dipanjali Kanoria is born and brought up in Delhi. Dipanjali has worked as a financial analyst at Ernst and Young in Manhattan for around a year before switching her career path to entrepreneurship. Heyday was launched in October 2017 and was recognized as a Forbes 30 under 30 Asia and India. The startup is focused The startup is focused on producing organic and biodegradable sanitary pads, panty liners, menstrual cups, and baby diapers. It ensures its commitment to being end-to-end sustainable brand by using degradable packaging to serve its loyal customer base on about 4 lakh people. Bootstrapped so far, the startup broke even in 1.5 years and saw 3 million growth. The competitors in the organic industry include Nua Women, PC, and Azaha. Dipanjali believes the increasing number of competitors shows the unmet demand for innovative personal care in India. The startup came to another is Eva 54 by Ifana Jargar. Ifana Jargar is a 28-year-old household and for the past 6 years she has been providing care to hundreds of women across Kashmir and has supplied more than a dozen public toilets to in Srinagar. She said she is working for the Congress in 2014 and she has died of without being funded by any non-government organization or government. She paying for her own pocket despite being a contractual employee at the municipal corporation. When the name she for the company Eva said she had Eva means women and safety door because of the fact that the initiative is a door that open to their safety. This is an institution named Akar Institution. This institution is named the Ajmer in Rajasthan. The Akar Institution is making biodegradable sanitary to rural women in India. The women who is working in this institution is mostly rural women. They are being employed by or the Akar Institution is being funded by the government also, and it is giving a lot of tools for the rural women who are in their home. Now they are this breaking it. How these women entrepreneurs come to the hygiene industry and how they are getting so much participation and how there are so many factors behind it. First is the public policy that are providing so much support to the new women entrepreneurs. There are so many policies making to like Make in India and other India to start their own businesses. The education background, a good education is also a good education is providing a better opportunity to own their own, to rule their own businesses. And then women start their own businesses, they are providing employment to other women too.
I'm so sorry to intervene, Vaishnavi ma'am, but your voice is breaking a lot. And I think there has been some technical glitch. Ma'am has been disconnected from the meeting. Vaishnavi ma'am, am I audible to you? I think ma'am is not there with us. So never mind. So we've had a presentation by Vaishnavi ma'am, where she talked about the woman entrepreneurship in the field of menstrual hygiene industry, a contemporary analysis. And carrying ahead with the session of presentation, now may I please invite Dr. Loveleen for presenting a paper on the role of teacher in development of entrepreneurship. Dr. Loveleen. Okay, even ma'am is not available in the meeting right now. Then on 6th number, we had scheduled the presentation for Dr. Priyanka Sinha. Priyanka ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah. Okay.
Would you like to share a presentation, ma'am?
Am I audible to all of you, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Okay. I'm just sharing my screen.
Sure.
Is it visible of my screen, ma'am?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet, ma'am. Now?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, it is starting to share.
Starting to share. Yes, ma'am. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. May I start now, ma'am?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes, please. Okay. Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Priyanka Sinha from Central Asia's College. I'm here to present my college and my teamwork. So my title is the Vermicomposting, One Step Towards the Entrepreneur. So we are from the Bioscience Department. So this is the practice is going on in our department and in our college. So the present work aims to provide a platform for the development of the entrepreneurial skill among the students and belonging to both rural and urban backgrounds. So, project was designed on the basis of the fact that municipal waste, animal waste, kitchen scraps, non-toxic solids, and liquid waste of the industries and household garbages can be converted into the environmental friendly, useful, valuable product like vermi fertilizer of economic importance. So it is the useful for the crop production and also alongside help to maintain a healthy environment. So conversion of the garbage by the earthworms into the vermicompost and the multiplication of the earthworms are also simple process and can be easily handled by the students, farmer, and as well as the inhabitants of the urban society. So now, what is the vermicompost? So I'm just defining the vermicompost that contain the 7 times of available potash found in the topsoil, as well as the 5 times of the available nitrogen and 11 times more calcium delivered gently in the organic form of the plant. It does not have any adverse effect on the soil, so plant and environment. So it improves the soil nutrition, aeration, and the texture also, thereby the soil compression that the improves the water retention capacity of soil because of the high organic matter content. It has a growth prompting humic substance or the phytohormones also accelerate food development and increase the crop yield. It lessens pollution, and the chemicals are not used, and promotes the sustainable development. Above all, the additional income can also be generated from the sale of excess earthworm and vermicompost products. So this is the process I'm just sharing with you, because any student, any house makers, and anybody can do it. So just I'm sharing these steps. So first step, we should prepare the vermi bed. So experiment for the vermicomposting was conducted in the vermicomposting unit. Consists of the, you can take pots also, you can take cemented pots also, and you can uh, uh, use any type of environmental friendly things, you can use it. So we in our college campus, we prepared one 6 to 4 feet into 2 feet deep under the cemented tank for the vermicomposting. And this is the layers of the after that you can see in this picture. After prepare this pit, we have to add pebbles, sand, and stones layer, and top we add some straws. Okay, and this picture you can see like any type of green plants and anything you can add it. Then in step 2, collection of waste. Only animal waste we can use in the different kitchen. We cow dung and buffalo dungs, and we are using, and organic waste, not any toxic waste, kitchen waste. We can use peels of the vegetables, but we should not add any onions and any citric fruits in the compost. Okay, then next, dumping of solid waste in the pits by the student collected from their houses. And these are the student, and they are using their green leaves and from the peels of from their house and all. After that, decomposition of the organic waste. Equal volume of the 1 week old cow dung was added into the organic waste into the ratio 1 part of cow dung and 1 part of the organic waste. For example, 25 kg cow dung for the 25 kg of waste. So vermi bed was covered by the gunny bags also. After this, the vermi beds was moist daily in the 15 to 20 days to maintain the moisture level of the 50 to 60%, and until the organic waste is semi-composted. After 15 to 20 days, after hand was put inside and mixture filled with the heat generated. Then this is the picture of mixing of cow dung. Slurry, you have to prepare a slurry of cow dung, then you can use it. And then after 15 to 20 days, 2 kg cultured Icena fetida. In this specific type of species we are using, that is Icena fetida, not all type of earthworms we are using, only the specific type of earthworm, Icena fetida. It is very easily available to the any vermiculture area, so you can purchase from them there, and inoculate into the vermi bed into the size of 6 to 4 into 2 feet deep with the approx 50 kg of waste. So 50 earthworms can be kept in the each vermi bin. So vermi is covered with the layer of 1 week old cow dung on the top. Then entire surface of vermi bed and vermi bins was covered by the gunny bags. The earthworms were allowed to multiply and digest the material into the undisturbed condition of the at least 60 days. Then decomposition of the organic waste, vermi beds, vermi bins were moisture daily 50 to 60 days of the maintained moisture, and after to 50 to 60 days, granular tea-like vermicompost appeared on the upper surface of the bed. And then the compost is harvested from the surface up to the 7 inches, not whole. We have to collect only up to the 7 inches after the removing the gunny bags, and heap of the vermicompost was made in the sunlight on the plastic sheet and was being kept into the 1 to hour settle down of the earthworms. Then the granular vermicompost will be sieved and the harvested vermicompost will be air dried at 30%. And then we can sell into the market. And I'm just want to share that from the current projects, it may be concluded that the vermicompost is a rich source of the micro and macronutrients needed for the promoting quicker growth and plants, increases crop yield. It is eco-friendly natural fertilizer prepared from the biodegradable organic waste. There's the promoting sustainable management of the environment, and also our students are become entrepreneur because of these process, and many house makers and many farmers are becoming an entrepreneur, because इसमें क्या होता है कि बहुत ही कम आपके सोर्स में आप एक अच्छा प्रोडक्ट जो है यूज़ करते हैं मार्केट में, जिसकी डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, क्योंकि आजकल जितना भी लोग कोशिश करते हैं, जो अपने घरों में भी लोग प्लांट डालते बनाते हैं रखते हैं, तो वो लोग सोचते हैं कि जितना कम से कम हम फर्टिलाइजर्स ऐसे यूज़ करें जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा केमिकल्स ना हो. तो दिस इज़ वेरी इको फ्रेंडली फर्टिलाइजर, एंड यू कैन मेक एट देयर होम, योर होम ऑल्सो. आप अपने घर में भी इसको बहुत कम कहना चाहिए, बहुत कम ही लागत में या कम पैसों में आप इसको करके एक अच्छा रिस्पांस आपको मिलेगा। और इससे मेरे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स अपने बहुत बड़ा एक सेंटर भी बनाया है, उनका उससे वर्मी वॉश भी प्रिपेयर करते हैं, उन लोग एक यूनिट बनाने से उन्होंने काफ़ी एंटरप्रेन्योर बने। सो दैट इज़ वाई आई एम जस्ट शेयरिंग माई एक्सपीरियंस विथ माई स्टूडेंट्स, और आप लोगों के साथ मैंने शेयर किया। एंड स्टूडेंट्स ऑल्सो वेरी बेनिफिटेड होते हैं इन सबसे। और अभी कंटिन्यूसली प्रोसेस इन द कॉलेज कैंपस में भी हम करते हैं, और हमारे आसपास जितने भी एरियाज हैं उनको भी हम अवेयर करते हैं कि दे कैन प्रिपेयर फ्रॉम देयर, मतलब मीन्स अपने घर से निकलने वाले जो पील्स होते हैं, कचरा होता है ऐसा, उससे आप सिर्फ वर्मी कंपोस्ट करके आप एक अच्छा कंपोस्ट आप बना सकते हैं। Thank you so much for listening me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Priyanka ma'am. Actually, we don't get to know कि किस time पे we get an idea. Certainly, Newton never knew, when the apple is going to fall, and he would have conceived an idea for being an entrepreneur or, discovering something new. And when you talk about वर्मी composting, so I think कि बहुत लोग इसको already घर में शायद करते होंगे, but exploring it in form of an entrepreneurial angle and in form of an entrepreneurial domain is actually a very wonderful idea. And thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, organizers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, although we really appreciate that there are many presenters with us who are very keen on sharing their thoughts and ideas with us, but due to the paucity of time, we are not able to, call upon everyone for sharing and presenting their papers. And we hope that everyone would cooperate with us with regards to the same. And so now, may I please take this opportunity and invite Dr. Bhavna Sareen, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce and Management, Sanathan College, Ambala, Kant, to present an overall report of the seminar, which will actually give us a crisp view of what we have been following since morning.
A
So
very
over
good
to you, Bhavna,
afternoon.
ma'am.
Yeah. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
A very good afternoon to one and all. It's a privilege for me, Dr. Bhavna Sareen, to present the final report on one-day national seminar on the theme Entrepreneurship India, Strategies for Transformation and Growth, sponsored by Directorate of Higher Education, Haryana, was organized by Department of Commerce and Management at Snatam Dharam College, Ambala, Kent, Haryana, on 25th June 2022. The seminar was conducted to understand and discuss the theoretical issues arising from entrepreneurship, innovation, and skill development in India. The seminar was organized to discuss the future paradigms of entrepreneurship in India. The seminar was initiated and hosted by Ms. Kavleen Bharej, Assistant Professor, Snatam Dharam College, for the first technical session, followed by warm welcome of resource persons and delegates by Dr. Sadbir Singh, Head Department of Commerce, Snatam Dharam College, Ambala, Kent. He explained the theme of the seminar and highlighted the strategies for transformation and growth of entrepreneurship in India. Followed by commencement of first technical session, Ms. Kavleen Bharej introduced resource person Dr. Ajay Suneja, Professor, Department of Commerce, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Dr. Ajay Suneja shared his views on social entrepreneurship, and he suggested reasons to become social entrepreneurs by having passion, zeal, care, and enjoying the process. He further emphasized the areas that are served by social entrepreneurs like women empowerment, health and sanitation, facilitating agriculture, empowering rural people, etc. He also highlighted key supporters and challenges faced by social entrepreneurs in India. He explained issues related to social entrepreneurship very well. He concluded with a comparison of social enterprises in India and UK and gave 10 success factors for social entrepreneurship. Sincere vote of thanks was proposed by Dr. Mohit Bindlesh, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Snatam Dharam College, Ambala, Kent, to Dr. Ajay Suneja for enlightening us with his immense knowledge. Followed by commencement of first technical session, Ms. Ranjana, Assistant Professor, SD College, introduced Resource Person of First Technical Session, Dr. Semi Vashishta. Assistant Professor, University School of Management, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Dr. Semi expressed her views on the startups in our country. She also emphasized on the 4 P's of innovation. She also addressed the contribution made by entrepreneurs in the form of MSME towards the Indian economy. She also enlightened the participants about the Technology Innovation Cell of Kurukshetra University, where they promote new startups. Further, Ms. Anita Fulia, Assistant Professor, Sanatana Dharma College, Ambala, Kent, proposed her vote of thanks to Dr. Semi Vishishta. After this, there was a short pre-break followed by the above session. Ms. Chavi Kiran, Assistant Professor, Sanatana Dharma College, Ambala, Kent, introduced Resource Person of Second Technical Session, Dr. Ritu Bajaj, Chairperson, Department of Management, Indira Gandhi University, Mirpur. She focused on women entrepreneurship and she discussed the success stories of women entrepreneurship in India. She enlightened us with the success story of Ms. Jaswantaben Jamnadas Papad, founder of Lizzat Papad. She explained the process of standardization of Lizzat Papad in a very impressive way. She further gave us knowledge about another woman entrepreneur, that is Ms. Sudha Murthy, the first lady engineer, and her struggle during her entire journey. She also emphasized on an unicorn entrepreneur, Ms. Falguni Nayar, founder and CEO of Nykaa, Divya Gokulnath, founder of Bajaj, and Upasna Thakur, director of MobiQuick, followed by extended vote of thanks given by Ms. Hina, Assistant Professor, Sanatana Dharma College, Ambala, Kent, to Dr. Ritu Bajaj Kumar for her valuable contribution. The session proceeded with paper presentation by delegators. The first delegate was Dr. Rajesh Kumar Pandey. He presented a paper titled on a study on social entrepreneurship in Indian context. He highlighted on avenues of social entrepreneurship. The second was Dr. Mamta Chawla and one was Ms. Aprajita. They presented a paper titled Women Entrepreneurship and the Road of Challenges. They explained various factors influencing women entrepreneurship in India and also explained various challenges that are faced by women entrepreneurs. The next was Ms. Vaishnavi Joshi. She presented a paper on women entrepreneurship in the field of menstrual hygiene. She discussed about the role of women entrepreneurship in menstrual hygiene. She discussed about the Ira Guha, founder and CEO of ASEAN, and enlightened the use of menstrual cups. Next was Dr. Priyanka Sinha. She presented a paper titled Vermicomposting and One Step Towards the Entrepreneurship. She discussed about the steps of creating vermicompost in detail. It's a matter of honor that more than 175 delegates participated in the seminar from various states of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Goa, Chandigarh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, Tripura, Kerala, Pondicherry, Telangana, Karnataka, J&K, Odisha, Gujarat, and Bihar participated for the seminar. In this program, participants were given an opportunity to interact and gain insights from senior academicians and experts. Thank you. Over to you, Chavi ma'am.
Thank you so much, Bhavna ma'am, for reading out in so much detail about whatever all events have happened in today's national seminar. So we are really honored that you have given such an extensive information about the seminar to us. And although we understand that when we talk about some national platforms or some intellectual events, so there should be more time available with us, but certainly this also have to end towards the session. So now, moving ahead and moving towards the end of the seminar, may I please invite Dr. Bharti Sujan, Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce and Management, to kindly present an overall vote of thanks for this national seminar. Over to you, Bharti.
Ma'am, I am presenting my paper, but first to last word me, but नहीं मेरा नाम अब कॉल नहीं किया.
Sir, actually, we are having a very short period of time. So now we are not able to call the other participants to present the paper. If you have submitted the paper, then it will be deemed to be presented and you will get the certificate of presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, one and all. It's my privilege to propose a formal vote of thanks on this occasion of one-day national seminar in collaboration with DHE Haryana, Entrepreneurship and India Strategies for Transformation and Growth. जिस मेहनत से तू आज भाग रहा है, यही कल तुझे सफलता दिलाएगी. झोंक दे खुद को इस आग में, यही कल तुझे हीरा बनाएगी. With these words, I, Dr. Bharti Sujan, on behalf of Sanatan Dhan College and entire organizing team of this seminar, extends a very hearty vote of thanks to Dr. Ajay Suneja, Professor, Department of Commerce, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra, for sparing his valuable time and inspiring our worthy participants towards the various concepts of social entrepreneurship. It's such an honor for me to thank Dr. Simi Vashisht, Assistant Professor, University School of Management, Kurukshetra, our worthy resource persons of today's seminar. We are all inspired by your great words. Her insights about the government and university contribution towards the budding startups will definitely boost the confidence of upcoming entrepreneurs. I would like to express my deep gratitude towards our resource person, Dr. Ritu Bajaj, Chairman, Department of Management, Indira Gandhi University, Mirpur. She gave great insights about Indian women entrepreneurs like Jaswanti Ben, Sudha Murthy, Falguni Nayar, Divya Gokulnath, and Upasna Taku. It's a privilege to hear your thoughts. Thank you, ma'am, for inspiring and encouraging us with your thought-provoking and interesting address on this special day. I am also very thankful to all our participants for their presence and contribution in the form of research papers to make this seminar a great success. I would also like to acknowledge and express my deep gratitude to our worthy principal, Sir Dr. Rajendra Singh, a dynamic leader, for providing us immense support and guidance to make this seminar successful. Thank you so much for mentoring us. I also extend my gratitude to Dr. Sabir Singh, Head of Department, Commerce Department. He is also the convener of today's seminar. Thank you so much, sir, for taking this initiative. I would also like to thank Dr. Renu Sharma, co-convener of today's seminar. Further, I am gratified and would like to make a sincere thanks to Dr. Mohit Bindlesh and the entire organizing team. Without their support, this event would not have been possible. I must thank all the faculty members for working hard for the past few days to make this seminar successful. Thank you for being with us since morning. It has been a great pleasure. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bharti ma'am, for proposing an excellent vote of thanks for all our participants and all our resource persons. And certainly we understand that entrepreneurship is something that is actually the buzzword in today's time. And the young mind, actually, they need some channel, some direction where they can channelize their energies. And if the energy of young minds is channelized in an appropriate direction, they can definitely do wonders. So once again, on behalf of the entire organizing team of Department of Commerce from Sanatan Dhan College, Ambala Cant, we are highly thankful to all our resource persons and our honorable participants who have spared their entire day and have been with us on this virtual platform today. We apologize that we could not give a chance to some of the participants for sharing their thoughts in form of a research paper with us today, but certainly we will keep the papers into consideration and the certificates will be issued. Thank you so much, everyone. And can we please request all of you to turn on your cameras for making a memory? Can we request all the participants to please turn on their cameras? Thank you so much, everyone. And finally, although we say that we are moving towards the end of the seminar, or rather we should say it is a beginning for new thoughtful deliberations to be happening in near future. And the feedback link has been shared in the chat box. So maybe please request everyone to fill up the feedback form, and then you all may please disconnect from the meeting. Thank you so much, everyone.